theaters.
With Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay. So I watched it over the weekend for the first. I'd never seen it before.
See, this isn't going to help. I have zero memory of how that movie played out.
I swear that I remember you like at some point being like, Coach Carter's a good movie, something like that. When it got brought up.
Like, I've never seen it again, so.
I think you should go back and watch it because it's quite possibly the weirdest edited movie I've ever seen in my life. Like, I was more obsessed with the editing in this movie, and I'm not a film nerd. Anyone who knows me knows that. I don't like foofy films and Coen Brothers stuff, and like I'm not into. I don't care about the art. Just blow something up or make me laugh, or whatever, and tie it up at the end. That's my thing with movies. But this was such, and I mean, I don't want to trash whoever put it together, but like it was honestly like. There were so many false cues. Okay, let me give you an example. So like the camera will turn to like a player on the other team and it'll do like this out of the blue close up on them. And there's like haunting music. There's cues that happen in movies to where you're like, okay, you've now established there's something with this person. What am I looking for? Are they going to take someone's legs out? Or are they going to punch the coach? Or what is going to go on with this person? So take that and multiply it by like 20. And that's pretty much every other scene in the movie where they set something up with the edit and the camera shot and the music. And then there's absolutely no payoff whatsoever. None. Like at all. It was just daunting music and some dude that they showed close up for no reason whatsoever.
So maybe that's why I haven't seen it again.
What I want, and when it comes to movies, I can count on you generally. I want somebody who's familiar enough with that movie to like to justify what I'm saying, or am I can't imagine I'm being weird about it because it was there and I was watching it, and it's your typical. I mean, look, and by the way, I think it seems like it's based on a true story. They had like the little thing at the end where it was like Fred Smith got a scholarship to this place and John Hinkle graduated, whatever. And then I looked up the coach. He's like a real guy, Coach Carter. But it is definitely a tried and true method of, beating down school with poor kids that all do drugs and get in fights and get pregnant. And like guy comes in a suit who either used to go to that school or is also from the hood, but got out and now like, don't judge a book by his cover, even though he's wearing a suit. He's super tough. And then the kids, this presence comes in to tell these kids that this is how it's gonna be. And some of them quit, and most of the ones that quit come back. And through it all, they have this bond that grows. And then randomly, like some tragedy happens, usually to one of the kids. In this case, it was like one of the kids' cousins. Someone gets shot or whatever. And then in the end, they all come together and learn a lesson. And the mean coach / teacher is vindicated, and they're lifelong friends. And we all learn something, right? Like that's Coach Carter. That's Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman. There's like 10 movies like that. It's pretty formulaic, but also if it's a true story, I think they should tell the story every time. Like I don't get tired of it. But in this case, it was just a really weirdly made movie. Also, Channing Tatum's movie debut.
All right.
Yes. That movie was Channing Tatum's rookie card. And yeah. So, okay, well, just look, do you have a Amazon Prime Video?
Looks like it's on Paramount, so I've got that.
Paramount. There you go. If you get a chance,
I will do some investigating.
Yeah, just and really the most I remember it from is the final sequence of the basketball games, but I know it was happening throughout. Jacob on the chat says Coach Carter is great. I would say this. Coach Carter is now 20 years old. I have a feeling that the biggest devotees to Coach Carter are probably under 40. Let me think. If you're 35, yeah, you would have been 15. That's the right time. I think if you're under 40 and you watched it as a kid, like there's a lot of movies like that, depending on the generation, that really aren't
Space
that great.
Jam.
Space Jam is a wonderful example, Chris, of a movie that is incredibly, incredibly overrated. But at the time, to that generation, it's awesome.
You nailed it with our guy on the YouTube.
He's 36. That's all. No, I mean, it's true. What would be another? You said space. This will probably piss you off. The Mighty Ducks. It's a fine movie. It's fine. It's not a bad movie. It does not deserve the like insane accolades that I feel like it gets, unless you're in that. That would be probably if you're 35 to 45, Mighty Ducks. If you are 40, probably 35 to 50, Major League is probably that. Like, I love Major League. I think Major League is amazing. Also, probably on par with some of those other movies. It's just at the time, it's the nostalgia of the whole thing.
And we've talked about this before. When you go back and try and watch something like that, and you're like, oh, well, I've seen this like in this movie, and this movie, and this movie. It's like, yeah, they got it from that movie.
That's exactly right. They got all the formulas. So like Young Guns, amazing movie. I loved it. It was great. Probably you put it on now. It's like, all right, it's fine. Young Guns 2 is fine. Jacob asked about Remember the Titans. Nah, that I think Remember the Titans is probably good in any generation. But Varsity, no, not really.
It as a movie, it's good, but if you want to take it as truth, it's like not even close.
Sure. I know we got a break here. What was it? Oh, Varsity Blues. That's another one. Again, all fine movies. No disrespect. You saying Jesus Christ couldn't hit a curveball? You damn right, Sean. That's exactly right. Blank you, Joe Boo. I'll do it myself. Major League one-liners. We'll take a break. Jason's gone. You know what that means. Fun and ADD. That's what it's going to be. But we're going to try to get to a lot of stuff. We had a 3-day weekend. A lot of stuff happened over the weekend. We have 2 Oklahoma City Timberwolves games to get to. We've got 2 New York Knicks. Wait, did we get to one of them on Friday or no? Wasn't one of them Friday? Wasn't game 2 Friday night?
Yes.
I think. Okay. So we got to cover those 2. Then we got to preview game 4. Kings are interested in a couple of guys. We'll talk about that. And today, what I am hoping is, speaking of generational stuff, over the weekend, and I think anyone who was around would agree with this, the greatest newscaster in Sacramento history, with zero disrespect to anybody else, Stan Atinson from KCRA Channel 3, passed away at 92, I believe. So I've got some feelers out. Just want to hear some stories and talk a little bit about him today as well. He was an icon in Sacramento media. So we will take a break. When we come back, we'll lead it off with basketball, the A's and the Giants next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports injury update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Gio Urshela was replaced on defense due to a hamstring injury. He will be placed on the 15-day injured list with no timetable to return. JT Ginn, out with that strained right quad, felt discomfort in that area, and the team is hopeful he can keep his arm in shape while the injury heals. There also is no timeline for his return. This injury update was brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
He'll give him the ball. Thunder by 2. Lobs it. It's in the air. Gathered by Dub. The Thunder win it. 128-126. They're 1 win away are the young Thunder, the top seed in the West, from advancing to the NBA Finals.
I'm sorry. I'm still I hadn't heard Alan do that commercial before. By the way, I should explain because it's sponsored. I'm not hammering Alan here. It was just fine. It was just fine. I'm just not used to Alan's announcer voice. And it Hi, I'm Alan Stiles. Over the weekend, the thing happened with the other thing, and then that thing happened too. By the way, have you heard that thing over there? I've never heard him do that spot. He's doing it in it's very well done. It's very professional. This is it's very well done and professional. It's not conversational. I guess I'm used to hearing conversational Alan and not Alan Stiles, ESPN.
It's like seeing your friend at work. Like,
yeah. Well, yeah, kind of. Seeing your friend at work, which I see him all the time.
Like, oh man, you're a boss of people? They have to listen to you?
You're wearing a collared shirt? What is going on? The Thunder survived. This was a back and forther, and they needed everything. I mean, all props to Minnesota. Jason and I were talking Friday, it was, about the Thunder being up 2-0, going back to Minnesota. And the very specific clip I remember saying, because we always say this, is you legally have to say it's not a series until the home team loses a game. Well, it just felt like the Thunder had the Timberwolves number, and it got even worse for them in game 2, the Timberwolves. And it just didn't feel like there was going to be that big of there'd be that big of a difference going back to Target Center. And whoa, my God, that was the worst loss in Oklahoma City Thunder history in the playoffs. They got smashed so bad by the Timberwolves that you almost think, well, I mean, at some point, just save some for the next day or the next game. And this was a great game. It really could have gone either way. But in the end, the Thunder were just too much. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dropped 40, not an efficient 40, 13 of 30. But having Jalen Williams there with 34, look, here's the bottom line. If Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, and Chet Holmgren if they're going to combine for 95 points, you're going to lose and they're going to win a championship. Like there's no stopping that if it happens. Isaiah Hartenstein and Lou Dort combined for 6. Like that was 95 of their 128 points came from those 3 dudes. I don't know how sustainable that is. And when you have Julius Randle scoring 5 points on 1 of 7 and 5 turnovers, when you have Anthony Edwards going 5 of 13 and having 16 points with 5 turnovers, if you told me that Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards were going to combine for 21 points,
2 seconds left
on 6 of 20 shooting and 10 turnovers with 1 steal, I would have told you that the Thunder probably beat them by 30. So it's actually, if there's good news for Minnesota, it's that they only lost by 2, and their 2 best players had garbage games. As a matter of fact, the Timberwolves the two leading scorers in this game share blood. That's crazy. I want to know if that's ever happened. If you ever had two blood relatives on opposite teams in the playoffs, both be their team's leading scorer. I gotta think that's the first time. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, of course, is who I'm talking about. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's cousin, led the Timberwolves with 23 points in 29 minutes. All right, we'll have a lot more on that today. Meanwhile, number 2.
Cut number 2.
2 seconds left. Inbound to Nembhard to let it roll to midcourt. Takes a dribble, launches a shot from the right wing. It's off the back rim, and the Knicks have done it. With a 106-100 win, their NBA Finals hopes are very much alive.
This has been a crazy series so far. It really has been just about everything we could ask for. The Pacers did to the Knicks what the Knicks were doing to the Celtics in Boston. They completely blew game 1 at home. And the Knicks lost to the Pacers 138-135. Then the Pacers come back and win game 2 by 5. And then the Knicks did to the Pacers what the Knicks were doing to the Celtics and what the Pacers did to the Knicks. You have had, whether you want to call it 2 phenomenal comebacks in this series or 2 phenomenal chokes in this series. Indy was up 20. They were up, 10 going into the 4th. They get outscored by 16 in the 4th quarter at home. They scored, and you watch this progression. Pacers scored 30, 28, 22, and 20 in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. 30, 28, 22, and 20. And they were outscored in the second half at home 61-42. They lose 106-100. Karl Anthony Towns had a phenomenal game, I think 20 in the 4th quarter, 24 points and 15 rebounds for him. Tyrese Halliburton, 20 points, 7 assists, 4 boards. Interesting series. And you're going to have game 4 tonight out at the former Conseco Fieldhouse. I don't know, whatever the hell it's called now, and I really don't care. It's always going to be Conseco Fieldhouse. Again, number 3, please.
Cut number 3.
Rojas is going. McIver's throwing a second. Wilson's tag is there. The A's have won it and send Philadelphia home with a loss. The 11-game losing streak is over, and we can look forward to the future.
Well, then they get a day off of all times. The A's get a day off. They will start their road trip, thank goodness, in Houston later this evening. I say thank goodness because let's just be honest. This isn't a bloop. This isn't a blip. They're 9-19 at home. The A's are 9 and I say at home. They're 9-19 in Sacramento. There is one team in Major League Baseball that has more than 19 losses at home, and that would be the 9-45 Colorado Rockies, who are on pace to, not be great. 9-19. That's not a coincidence. So we're going to get into that later. Why do Sacramento teams always lose at home? Why do Sacramento teams either do better on the road, and we've talked about this a little bit before, they either do better on the road or they don't do as better at home versus road as everyone else in the league? What is it? Is it just a total coincidence? Is it something about the city, the weather, we're going to talk about some comments Mark Kotsay said about where the foul lines are and visibility. But something's going on. Meanwhile, the Giants can't get any offense at all. And they're playing the best or one of the best teams in baseball right now, depending on what day it is. Detroit. Now, they started that out with a pretty typical loss. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll have some audio ready for you. As we'll start with Game 3, Minnesota throttles the Thunder at Target Center. We'll talk about that and OKC being prone to blowouts. Chris is going to take you through all the audio next.
Visit SacktownSports.com and join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter.
What's going on? I'm talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Chad, tell me what's happening for Chrysler's Employee Pricing Plus event.
There's been a lot of talk lately about electric vehicles, and this has to be one of my favorites. And right now, don't just get the employee pricing, get Employee Pricing Plus with a little extra Hoblet discount when you save up to $10,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 4xEs. These Jeeps are so much fun to drive and save you a bundle at the pump.
Yeah, save money. They look pretty nice, too.
Those Jeeps have been hugely popular, and everyone I've talked to loves them. Plus, you get to experience our award-winning customer service. And remember to check out the new Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter with nearly 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000. Whatever you're looking for, Hoblet has it.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
10,000 total net savings after 2,500 factor rebates and 7,500 dealer discounts, including employee pricing for all. Rebates may include 500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders. VIN number 24461 and 24463. See dealer for details.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC, used with permission.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Trent says Dave should start having a rant segment. Which thing I do every day. I don't call it a rant segment. Every day. Every day I'm hustling. Wait. Every damn, what's that song say? Every damn something.
Hustling.
Is it hustling? Okay.
Shuffling.
Every day I'm shuffling. Zebra's talking about the weather, which is always great radio for me to bring up. That's my fault, not hers. Did I see something like it's gonna be 102 this weekend?
That's the rumor.
101 Friday, 101 Saturday. Well, I get in at 9:42 Saturday night. Hey, and then it's only 90 on Sunday. Here we are, May 27th. And then Chris is obsessed with my hair today, that it looks like a toupee or Marv Albert or whatever. Dwayne's defending the A's. They played the Mariners, the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Giants, the Angels, and the Phillies. It is a tough schedule. There's no doubt about that. It is a tough schedule. But my goodness, 9-19. I mean, they also played the Cubs. They played the Padres. They played the Mets. They played the Rangers. They played the White Sox. I mean, the Angels are better than they were, but, you know, I don't know if I call them good at 25-28. There's something weird about playing at that park for the A's. And I don't want to get into it now because we've got a segment later on it, but what I don't get is why it's not a home field advantage, being that they play in the most unique park in the country. Like, develop that into an advantage, like the weird warning track and the distances and everything that's there. Like that should be. But now you're hearing more and more major league players saying, yeah, this isn't a major league park. It's weird. They don't like it. Okay, well. No one saw that one coming. I don't want to be that guy. Well, no, I do want to be that guy. Who would have saw that coming? Not I, said the Fly. Not Chris. Chris, always a noted proponent of the A's moving to Sacramento. You can tell by his cell shirt that he wears. Meanwhile, Chris has audio. Game 3. We're going to go back a little bit. Now, this is game 3. I know that there's been 2 games, but to know where you're going, you have to go. To know where you're going, you have to know where you've been. Something like that. Chris, where are we starting here? I guess I don't have a shot sheet, so I'm going to do the best I can. But take us through, if you will, whatever this is. I'm assuming in the first quarter.
Well, it started off good for OKC with Chet Holmgren.
Next to Chet, wide open, snaps off an angle left three-pointer that's in there to Ching a Thunder money ball. OKC makes its first tray tonight, and Chet Holmgren has scored it well, 31 from fourth quarter of game 1.
I know how we'll do this. And then I'll go, and then what happened?
And then what happened? Anthony Edwards with a jam.
Out to midcourt, into the front court, and tracks it down. He's alone to the rim. Look out below. Elevate and detonate. 13-7, and Target Center is rocking and rolling.
I don't know who it was. So, yeah. So, and then what happened is going to be the cue for the whole show for audio. So, it was, I think it was last night.
Oh, and if you're wondering, that was the only Oklahoma City highlight that we were given for that game.
Really?
Yes.
That was almost their only basket for the whole game. Jesus. Okay, so I was reading, I don't know how I came across this. I just saw it in a corner of social media somewhere that came across my timeline. And I don't know who the writer was, but I think it was a she. I thought I naturally assumed he at first. I'm reading a sporting and whatever, but I think it was a she. And it was really, really well written. Like, you could tell this person had a really strong hold of vocabulary, building paragraphs and themes. It was a very well written article, and it was like somebody's Substack. Like, it was not. This wasn't in any publication, certainly none that I recognized. But it was a long form article that basically said the NBA is having a crisis of cool. And that when compared to generations from before, that the NBA has gotten so corporate and so shielded, and that the lead up to the NBA, academies, AAU, that these kids are identified when they're in single digits and then basically kept separate from everyone else in real life, including media training and everything else. And the point is that today's superstars, your Jason Tatums, your Shai Gilgeous-Alexanders, are effectively incredibly boring. They're just boring. They're not cool. They're nerds. Tyrese Halliburton, with the latest meme going around that he plays like Steve Urkel did when he got hot in Family Matters. That Tyrese Halliburton is incredibly uncool. Jalen Brunson, she broke that down, how uncool he is. He's known basically for going to Villanova and having a dad that coaches. Whereas she said Anthony Edwards is easily the coolest player in the league, but he's also stuck in Minnesota. And unlike the old days where you had the Barkleys and the Michael Jordans and the Larry Birds and the Magic Johnsons, who were the epitome of cool, that the NBA really is about to run into its first generation of nerds running the league, and nobody's really cool. And the ones that try to be cool are incredibly fake. That's stuck in my head for like all weekend long, because I don't know if she has a point or if it's just all garbage.
I mean, I think you could kind of say the same thing about, like, I can't think of like a cool NBA player for the last, like, is Kevin Durant cool?
No, Kevin Durant's a whiny baby on social media.
LeBron James is cool because he's like the best to ever do it.
Right, but LeBron James also has I mean, anybody who's a superstar is a legion of haters, but has a legion of people that think he's fake as hell. I mean, Anthony
But
Edwards,
then at the same time, like, Michael Jordan was cool because he was amazing and he was on every single commercial. It's not like he did something like it was just like, oh man, never mind. He did have the eyes closed free throw. He had the shrug. He had
the iconic tongue that he
like
had.
the bad thing is, like, all of these people grew up like copying other people, and so it doesn't feel new or it doesn't feel genuine.
No, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't. They're all either Jordan or Kobe. You know, and Kobe was a Jordan disciple, and then you have all these Kobe disciples. Kobe was cool. Kobe was cool as hell. Kobe's the closest we've had to Jordan. Kobe compared to LeBron, there's no kind. Like, go ask Laker fans, hey, who's cooler, Kobe or LeBron? Are you kidding? It'd be like 98% Kobe Bryant. I'm not even joking. Meanwhile, Anthony Edwards. The thing is that Michael Jordan had a little bit of bad boy to him. You know, he had the cigars and gambling, and you know, he's out there playing golf with a cigar, and you're hearing legendary stories of him betting tens of thousands of dollars on the course and just being cool. Like, no one ever called Michael Jordan corny or fake. Like, nobody ever did. And I there's also something to the fact that these guys are all squeaky clean. Not that Anthony Edwards isn't squeaky clean, except doesn't he have like a whole, like, doesn't he have like a bunch of kids? He's got like pay off the. Didn't I read something about that? Yeah,
he like did it in a lump sum.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I knew I'd read something like that, which like somehow that makes you cool. I don't know. And I'm not trying to boomer take it either. I mean, like, having kids isn't cool. Like, I'm just saying it's now become like, so you're telling me that you do all these commercials and you know how to deal with the media and you never swear in public and you always dress up nice, and all these things that we claim that we want these athletes to do is total garbage. We don't. We want to be bad boys. We want to be cool.
Well, then two is like you're talking about growing up in the system of becoming a professional basketball player. Like, the last thing that these guys figure out is who you are. Like, everything is about becoming better, doing better. Like, who you are is being good at basketball, but like, that's it.
That's it. And even like, were we looking for our personalities now? Jokic, Wembanyama. The whole, I think, underlying point of this article I read that really got in my head, and I wished I'd have saved it, is is it just recency bias? I mean, will this all look different in 20 years? But are we in like the worst era for, as the kids say, Riz? Like, is this the worst basketball era when it comes to aura? Like, who's got aura? Steph, I guess. He's nearing the end. Who's out there? Who are the Barkleys and the Jordans and the Michael or the Magics, the Dr. J's, hell, David Thompson? before my time. Elgin Baylor, those guys. Where are they at? Where's Daryl Dawkins? Where's Bernard King? I mean, I'm digging deep now, but we'll go to break. Kevin says here, maybe social media gives us too much access to players' lives, whereas in the past, players are mostly known from games and commercials. They could be just as uncool as the players today. It's actually, that is a good point. We have more access directly to athletes than we ever have had before. We have cameras everywhere. These guys kind of have to be. I think the bottom line is people are just always going to bitch. They're just always going to bitch. Chris is saying Kobe wasn't cool, which is Chris's MO. He's going to pick a contrarian opinion and stick on it for the next hour. I would just say this. I think the vast majority of NBA fans would disagree with you. We'll take a break. When we return, Safer Out, in which what I did is I put all the 3 for Madness questions in Safer Out and all the Safer Out questions in 3 for Madness. So, Chris, I'll trust you to look down a couple spots when we get to this because it is baseball. We'll talk about that. 3 for Madness coming up next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head, and the total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-961-5544. 800-961-5544.
Memorial Day savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,500 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado Turbo Max in stock.
And Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections of new Silverado in the Sacramento area.
$12,500 off new Silverado. Exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big. Huge! See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Less than 2011 not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner and oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, you know, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this half off tune-up right now? It's a special going on, just $24.50 to get your air conditioner tuned up. A free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
I literally was speaking for like 40 seconds and then realized I didn't turn my mic or my camera on. Sorry, Chris, because then it got to the point where I said, safe or out question 1, and you didn't say anything. And then I was like, Chris, are you even there? And then I went to check to see if you were there, and yep, you were there. Sorry, everybody. That was on me. Coming up at 7, I'll do this again now. We'll go back to Minnesota and run through some audio there and give you more of an idea of what happened, which was quite a bit different. In the meantime, safe or out question 1.
The Rockies ranked 10th in the majors in overall average attendance, despite being on pace to finish more than 50 games behind 4th place in the National League West. How is this possible?
Think about that. I saw that anomaly over the weekend. They're 10th in the majors when you combine average home and road attendance. That means not just people going to Coors Field, of which they're doing pretty decent, but people going to see them on the road. And again, as Chris just said, they're on pace to finish not 50 games back of the best record in baseball, not 50 games behind first place in their division, 50 games behind 4th place in their division. That's insane. That is insanely bad. I think it's a combination of 2 things. It has to be a combination of 2 things. Number 1, Coors Field is a fantastic place to watch a baseball game. Number 2, spring and summer, for the most part in Denver, is amazing. And they just have really good sports fans in Denver, dude. They really do. They support the Avalanche. They support the Nuggets. They support the Rockies, and they really support the Broncos. It's just, Denver is a phenomenal sports town. Just got to call it like I see it. They're a great sports town. As far as on the road goes, I don't know, unless it's an anomaly early in the year and they've played in some pretty giant ballparks. But it might also be that since nobody wants to go see the Rockies, it might just be that that's where a lot of teams will put their, hey, come see the game for 99 cents and we'll pay you $20 and you can have free popcorn. That's where you get the best deals for the worst team. So, yeah, that's all I can think of. Safe or out? Question 2.
The Braves are 2 games under 500, but just got back Ronald Acuna Jr. and Spencer Strider. Are they going to get dangerous?
Yeah, they are. I think they are. Atlanta's a good team, and Atlanta's got a really, really good pitching staff. They're 2 games under 500, as you mentioned, but look out. Acuna Jr. comes back and hits a freaking jack on the first pitch he sees. He gunned somebody out from the outfield He's just such a stud, and baseball is better with Ronald Acuna Jr. And then Spencer Strider, now that you've got, Chris Sale at the top of that rotation, it'll take Strider some time, but he's 26 years old, and he's been injured for the last couple of years. The last year he, played pretty much a full season. He was 20-5. Okay. He was 20-5. And what really amounted to his second full season in the major leagues, his first 2 years in the majors, dude was 31-10 with a 2.67 and 3.86 ERA. And absolutely phenomenal stuff. He struck out 281 batters in 2023 when he went 20-5, and then just he's been injured. He hasn't played. So if he can come back and do anything, be anything like he was before, and there's no reason to think he won't at 26 years old. Yeah. I think the Braves are going to be something to contend with. Especially when you look at what teams are starting hot but are going to fade. A lot of people pick, I think the most popular one is the Giants to be the one that fades. And I agree with them unless they get some batting help. Atlanta's going to be the opposite. Number 3, please.
With both the A's and Giants beginning road trips, which team will do better over the next 3?
Well, the A's are in Houston. The Giants in Detroit. Giants are already down 0-1 on that one. I think the A's only have 2 in Houston, if I remember right. But I think it'll be the A's. The Giant. I mean, and I say that the A's have won 1 of their last 12 games, but I do think it's going to be the A's. The A's just got done playing a horrific schedule at home, and again, you have to factor it in. They have been atrocious at that home ballpark. They have Houston for 2. Then they go to Toronto for 4, Minnesota for 4, before coming back for 3 against Baltimore, which can't get their act together. And then they're back on the road for 6 against the Angels and the Royals, the surprising Royals, if you will. I think you're going to see a better effort out of the A's on this trip they're on. When it comes to the Giants, they need help. Their bullpen is filthy, but they need help. They've got 2 more with Detroit, and then they go to Miami for 3, which they, for their sake, hopefully will do better. Then they come home. They have 4 against the perennially hot Padres this year, 3 against the Braves, who we just got done talking about, and then they're back on the road again. You get 3 with Colorado. That should be fine. Then you go into Dodger Stadium. Then you got Cleveland. It's a rough stretch for the Giants right now, and they need to figure something out before the season gets away from them. They really do. All right, as the debate as to who is cool and who is not in sports continues in the chat. From the 916, people hate Mahomes. Hurts gets dinged for being corny. Purdy is an underdog. The NBA is always heavily scrutinized. Nobody is cool in the NFL, and ratings are just fine. You think about that. Who is cool in the NFL? I think Saquon Barkley's pretty cool. I mean, the last truly cool guy they had in the NFL was probably Marshawn Lynch. When he's winning, Joe Burrow's pretty cool. I'll have to go through that. I'll have to go through NFL teams. Think about who's cool. Like Myles Garrett isn't that cool, but he's a stud. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think that people would say Tyreek Hill is cool.
Yeah, people would say Tyreek Hill is cool. I get it. Some people would say he's not cool either. I think a lot of it just depends on the generation you're in, what you consider. Cool is very subjective too. A lot of people don't think Tyreek Hill is cool. A lot of people bring people's personal lives or politics or whatever into it, and it's really simple. Let's just put it this way. There are a lot of people that think Nick Bosa is incredibly cool, and there's a lot of people that think that Nick Bosa is not cool. Just depends on your definition of what is what. We'll take a break. When we come back, top of the hour, OKC, Minnesota, game 4. A tale of two games, if you will. We'll do all that next.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, Athletics, and Republic FC with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Louis C.K. in an all-new show, Ridiculous 2025 Tour.
When I was younger, you had to go in the bank. Remember that? You had to go inside the bank. Now you look in the bank, you're like, what are those people doing in there? Are they cleaning? The money's out here.
Friday and Saturday, June 13th and 14th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit thundervalleyresort.com. Louis C.K. live on stage.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-837-5050. That's 800-837-5050. 800-837-5050.
I remember as if it were yesterday. I reached down to move a nightstand and was astonished at the weight of the piece. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At that moment, I instantly recognized the difference between Naturewood's quality furniture that will last a lifetime versus lesser quality furniture found elsewhere. Now, I suppose there's a huge difference in what you'd put in your first apartment and what you would live with in the comfort of your own home. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings Made in USA sale is a great time to fill your home with solid, superior quality furniture to reflect your own love for life. With brands like Sam Moore, Stanton, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and many more, Naturewood Home Furnishings has tables, chairs, couches, and, yes, nightstands, and more at their Made in USA sale. Find furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then
boom with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Oh, man. Jason is on a vacation, well-deserved, doing his annual Abandoned Dunes trip.
Golf.
He is
See the
currently
weather out there for him?
I haven't checked today. That's a great question, Chris.
Looks lovely out there.
Let me bring up old Bandon, Oregon. Remember, that's those courses you have to walk. There are no carts, which is just hell. Wants to walk that much? I'm trying to play golf, not a sport. Oh, look at that. 66 and sunny today in Bandon. That's balmy. 61 and partly cloudy tomorrow. That is perfect golf conditions. A little bit of rain Thursday and then sunny Friday. Wow, he got lucky. Let's take a look at the winds right now. Bandon, Oregon. Look at this. 7-mile-an-hour winds right now, going up to 15, which again is crazy low for out there. Also, yeah, and then tomorrow, 9-mile-an-hour, 5-mile-an-hour, 8 to 6. Wow, he lucked out. Good for him. Looking forward to those stories. Hey, by the way, I know you've explained this to me before, so don't get frustrated with me. I do agree, however, even though Chris Guerrero did not take his wacko pills today. This angle is absolutely horrific. My face fills up like it's not the angle. It's why is it so close now? Why can we not move the camera back?
See, because it used to be, I'm going to show people on the YouTube. It used to be like this.
Yes.
But we've got that. Well, we've got that new program that helps us with
the
cutting audio and video and stuff like that and putting it on our socials, to where they said the best way to get everything we want would be here.
Did they not realize that they can screen record the segment they want and enlarge it super quickly?
So like what they're looking for is like not to screen record at all. Just say like from here to here, grab something out of here and then put it online.
Well, I'm all for that new program. I really am. But my God, like this is like my face fills it. There's a reason I'm on radio to begin with. There's a reason most people are on radio to begin with and not on television. But when you can see my nose hairs and bags under my eyes, it's not a good viewing experience. But whatever. It's what it is. What are you going to do? I'm going to reach out to, as a matter of fact, I need to do that right now. I want to bring Kelly Brothers on today. I understand that somebody told me once he is
good at business.
He is good at business. But I want to talk to Stan Atkinson, or I want to talk to him about Stan Atkinson, who passed away over the weekend, the legendary KCRA. And then he went to did he go to 13, I think?
I think so.
Yeah, I want to talk about one of the great regrets for me is I never met him. Never met him, not once. Never met. All the years I know I got into media a lot later than him. After he was done, but he's been around. He's been local. I never ever got to meet him, so I'm looking forward to some friends of ours maybe stopping by today and just telling a story or two about Stan. And if you're under 30, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. If you're over 30 and you're from here, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Have you checked out his Wikipedia page?
I haven't.
Oh man, like he saw some stuff.
Oh, dude. This was like news was so much. I'm not trying to get into the whole state of journalism, but like just budgets for news was so much different. So Stan would it'd be like Stan Atkinson live in Vietnam, and he'd be like going through Stan live at the I think he was in Russia at the fall of the whatever.
So this paragraph caught my eye. Of he was chased down by a Soviet helicopter gunship in Afghanistan. He was there twice in 82 and 85, plus held up and robbed by leftist guerrillas in El Salvador and shot at in Cambodia.
Dude, that is crazy. I didn't know. I didn't know that.
And he's like your fun uncle on
yes.
news.
And this dude went. I say this dude. That sounds disrespectful. This icon went to. Now I'm on it. He covered 18 countries in crisis, over 31 assignments. He was the picture on his Wikipedia. There's a picture that shows him undercover with a beard and a headscarf in Afghanistan with the Mujahideen. Served in the Army in the Korean War in the early 1950s. Was an instructor at Fort Ord. Taught 20,000 trainees. Became a sergeant, and then was one of 25 reporters selected for a journalism fellowship at Stanford. Was in Bosnia, in Hong Kong to report on the reunification with communist China, Afghanistan, Angola, Cambodia, Baghdad just before Desert Storm began, Kuwait a month after it was liberated, Somalia, the South Africa, and by the way, this was all in Sacramento. This is all for Sacramento. He never went national. He was KCRA, baby. Like, look, I mean, they're KCRAs are content partners, and I think they would be the first to agree with me. Like, the whole thing where like Channel 3 dominates Sacramento news, and Channel 3 has dominated Sacramento news like since I was born. I don't know a time when Channel 3 didn't dominate local news, where the news comes first, right? That whole foundation was Stan Atkinson, and at its prime, it was Stan Atkinson, Margaret Pelly, Betty Vasquez, was Tom Loftman 3? Might have been 13 or both. Creighton Sanders or Bob Hogue on sports, Walt Gray. You want to talk about a freaking dream team. Kelly Brothers.
Good at business.
Anyway, shout out to everybody watching on their televisions right now with this amazing angle. Let's get to Oklahoma City and Minnesota. Chris, where are we going to start off? This is now game 4. Minnesota absolutely trashed OKC so badly that the service only gave us one Thunder highlight for the entire game. Where are we going to pick up now?
Minnesota was trying to keep it close. They started making a comeback in the third quarter, and that was with help from Rudy Gobert.
Mike gets a screen from Rudy, gives it back to the roll man, and Rudy throws it down over Hartenstein.
Go ahead, big fella.
7.7 boards. Couple of dimes for Rudy Gobert, who's also got a block.
And that's incredibly important because we talked about Rudy being played off the floor, being largely, no pun intended, largely not great, not productive for the I almost said the Jazz, for the Timberwolves as they go back and forth. But then, Chris, then what happened?
Well, Mike Conley kept it going with Minnesota.
Man up the center of the floor, trying to run away from Dort. Down the lane, runs it up and kicks out the last second. Mike open corner 3. Bingo! Big time 3 from Mike Conley. He connects from the corner opposite the Wolves bench. 7-0 Minnesota run, and this is a 4-point game.
Very exciting out there. I think the Target Center faithful who have been hurt in the playoffs or not in the playoffs, second only to our Sacramento Kings. They were starting to get excited about maybe evening up the series. But then what happened, Chris?
Why do I keep saying Jason Williams? Jalen Williams got it going for the Thunder in the fourth.
In deep, spins, loses it, shovel feeds to Dub, open, left side angle 3 on the way, got it, Chachinga Thunder money ball, Dub rises and rips, he's got 5.
What?
Shane lost the ball, regathered, and shoveled through the legs of McDaniels to Dub on the left flank for the trade.
What?
Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, can you replay that, please? I swear I heard Thunder Buddy.
In deep, spins, loses it, shovel feeds to Dub, open, left side angle 3 on the way, got it, Chachinga Thunder money ball, Dub rises and rips, he's got 5. Shane lost the ball, regathered, and shoveled through the legs of McDaniels to Dub on the left flank for the trade.
There was a Chichinga in there.
Chichinga Thunder Buddy Dub.
Chichinga Thunder Buddy Bub Dub, right?
Chichinga Thunder Buddy Bub Dub.
Okay. I know that because they have two Jalen Williamses. They call one of the Jalen, I think the good Jalen Williams is Dub. And the other, I think, is J. Will. So I understand. So we've got the Chichinga Thunder Buddy Dub. Play that one more time.
Chichinga Thunder Buddy Bub Dub rises and rips.
Chichinga Thunder Buddy Bub Dub. Is he saying Bud like a Thunder Buddy?
Chichinga Thunder Buddy Bub Dub rises and
I think it's Bub Dub.
Bub. I need somebody that speaks Thunderese. We need Google Translate. Chichinga Thunder Buddy, and I mean, look, it's a great call. I'm not ripping it. Chichinga Thunder Buddy Bub Dub. Okay. Well, spent a lot more time on that than I thought we would, but then, Chris, what happened after that?
Jalen Williams again with the dagger.
Kicks left wing Dub open. Snaps off a rainbow three. In there! Chichinga J-Dub authored money ball. Oh, baby! 34 for Dub, a playoff career high. Shea's got 10 assists. Thunder back up 7.
Okay, what? We got another Chichinga. I think we got another Thunder Buddy in there, but then there was something differently. Can we run that back?
Snaps off a rainbow three. In there! Chichinga J-Dub authored money ball. Oh, baby!
Chichinga J-Dub off the Thunder Buddy ball Bazinga?
There! Chichinga J-Dub authored money ball. Oh, baby!
Sounds like Chichinga offered Buddy Ball, oh baby. Offered Buddy Ball? Man, we need to get this guy on to just walk us through in like a respectful way, but like we want, like maybe like back in the like Sesame Street days when it would be like there'd be like that beat in the background. It'd be like boo, oost, boo, oost, boost. Like we need that guy to come on. Chichinga Thunder Buddy Dub. Honest to God, it sounds like something from Return of the Jedi. Chichinga Thunder Buddy Dub. Oh, Bazinga. Just anyways, here's what happened. The Thunder won. Very good game. And now they take a commanding 3-1 lead going back to OKC, in which 2 of the next 3 will be in Oklahoma. The Wolves must win all 3. I normally don't do this. I don't like doing it unless it's not necessary. It unnecessarily puts me in a precarious position, Chris. But I think I got to do it. At 7:14 a.m. on Tuesday, May 27th, this series is over.
Whoa.
I've seen enough. The Oklahoma City Thunder are your Western Conference champions, and they will take on probably the Indiana Pacers, but the winner of the Pacers. I'm not ready to say that series is over. As a matter of fact, I would go as far as to say this, Christopher. I think the winner of tonight's game will win the series. Yeah.
Okay.
We got people trying to break this down. I don't think they're wrong necessarily. Is Buddy Ball an assist? Sure, but around these parts, Buddy Ball means something completely different in Sacramento. But I think that might be right. Does he say Chichinga for a made 3? I believe so. I like Chichingas, by the way. That's the deep fried burrito. I just don't know why you would pick that. Big fan of Chichingas. We'll take a break. Oh, wait, that's chimichangas. Never mind. When we come back, I almost had it, Chris. Let's get to 3 for Madness. In their search for a point guard and all these names being thrown out there, should the Kings swallow hard and take this guy? We'll talk about the All-NBA first team. And we will talk about that Minnesota and Oklahoma City series as well. We'll do all that right after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Chad, what's going on for Chrysler's Employee Pricing Plus event?
We all love employee perks, and nothing is better than getting the employee price. But we are going even further. Right now, you can save up to $16,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 Crew Cabs. Plus, with over 500 new Rams available, your perfect truck is waiting at Hoblet.
It's nice getting all the employee benefits without the work.
But with Hoblet, it's not just employee pricing. We are a 5th-generation family-owned dealer, and when you buy at Hoblet, you become part of the family. Plus, you get to experience our award-winning customer service. And remember to check out our Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter with nearly 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$16,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie after $3,500 factory rebates and $12,500 dealer discount, including employee pricing for all. Rebates may include $500 on the job outfit for eligible upfit. 5 this net savings. Sample VIN 93559. See dealer for details.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right. Coming up a little later on in the program, we're going to switch over to Indy and the Knicks as well. And then the Kings, there's rumors out there. Are they interested in this guy? Could they be interested in that guy? We'll take a couple of those names and lay them out there for you. And at some point, I want to get some of my media friends on perhaps and talk about Stan Atinson. In the meantime, 3 for Madness, question 1.
In their search for a point guard, should the Kings swallow hard and look at Chris Paul?
Yep. Yeah, they should. Don't overthink it. Look, for what, unless there's some crazy deal out there, even I have to admit, you're going to almost certainly. Now, first off, I have a feeling Chris Paul is probably going to be title chasing at this point, and not want to end his career in Sacramento. So this is probably pointless. And he's going to be 40 years old. I think he'll be 40 years old. Yeah, he'll be. No, he just turned 39 a couple weeks ago. Okay, well that's big. That's different. But when you look at his numbers last year, 9 points, 7.5 assists, 3.5 boards, a little over a steal. Shot 42% from the field. That's not great. 92% from the line. But he also did it in 28 minutes, and he played all 82 games. I'm telling you right now, you need a point guard if you can get Chris Paul for $10 million or less. And I think he was making, I want to say he was making $9 million with the Spurs. Now, look, you're playing for San Antonio and Greg Popovich. I totally get it. It's a different situation. You're there to help a lot of the young guys. It'd be a little bit different here. Yeah, he made $10.4 million last year. You signed him to a 2-year, $20 million deal. I'd do it. And I, all of you out there right now, they're going, no, not Chris Paul. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. I get it. I feel the same way about Chris Paul as you do. I do. But I would just ask you this. Find me a better value point guard out there right now that is realistic for the Kings. By the way, they wouldn't have to give anybody up to get him. He's a free agent. You could put you could put a Band-Aid on your point guard issue for a year or two for cheap, And you're just, again, you don't like it? Great. I don't either. Find me a better value point guard. Give me a name that's a better value point guard. I'll happily consider it, but you're not going to find it. Not one that's realistic or not one that you have to give up a bunch for. I think they could very easily. Let's put it this way: I want Trey Lyles back. I think I'd rather use Trey Lyles money for Chris Paul. It's what the team needs. There's a lot of options there. And then see what you can do with DeMar DeRozan. God, people are freaking out. I get it. Like I said, find me a better value guy. This team ain't doing nothing this year anyways, okay? So it's not like Chris Paul is going to prevent us from winning a title or this team from being one of the more likable, fun teams in Kings history. This team is going to struggle to hit 500, and we're sitting here picking and choosing. Although I guess an argument could be made if they're going to suck anyways, might as well not. It'd be better to suck without Chris Paul than to suck with Chris Paul. Okay, I hear you. That's what you're saying. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
Did you have any issue with the All-NBA first team?
No, not really at all. I shouldn't say not really. I didn't. In fact, I'm looking at the voting right now. What I really liked is 4 of the 5 guys on the first team were unanimous. And they should have been. Giannis, Shea, Jokic, and Jason Tatum were all unanimous. Donovan Mitchell got 61 first-place votes. Second highest was LeBron James. There's no way you can make a case for LeBron James being on the first team. I think he deserves to be on the second team, but not the first. Anthony Edwards shouldn't have been on I wouldn't put Anthony Edwards over Donovan Mitchell, especially when you're talking about the team. You got to have somebody from both OKC and Cleveland, the 2 best regular season teams in the league, and they're both clearly superstars. So I'm not putting Edwards on there. Weirdly enough, Cade Cunningham didn't make the second team, but got the 3rd most first team votes with 6. But no, I wouldn't put him there. Not Curry, not Mobley, not Brunson. No problems there. And as far as snubs go, I don't really see one either. To be honest with you, I think it was a combination of them getting it right, and also I noticed this too. Tyrese Halliburton has made one of the All-NBA first, second, or third teams every full season he's been in Indiana. Question 3, please.
Question 3.
Did Minnesota crushing the Thunder change your mind about the series at all?
Now, obviously, we know what happened in Game 4, but I remember writing this down, and I didn't want to take it away after Game 3, but it didn't. It didn't. And we'll talk about this coming up a little bit later, but the Thunder just seem to be really prone to the occasional blowout. You had one in their last series. You would have had one. People forget because of the final score, but they were getting blown off the floor in Memphis before Ja Morant got hurt. And full credit to the Thunder for coming back, but they're getting blown out of that game if Ja doesn't get hurt. That happened, and it completely took Memphis out of the game. So, look, Oklahoma City is better than Minnesota in every single way. They really are. The only way Minnesota was going to win this series is if Minnesota pretty much played their best and Oklahoma City had some sort of issue, whether it's an injury or they just all went ice cold or whatever it may be. So, yeah, it didn't change my mind at all. And then, of course, OKC came back and won. We'll take a break. When we come back, and remember, we're going to have some friends stop in at some point, but when we come back, a very quick break here, just a minute and a half, we'll get into Indy and New York. Another tale of 2 games there, and then we've also got, it's a lot of Indy, New York, 3 straight segments if it works out that way, because they've also got a Game 4 coming up tonight as well. And you got to think, with the Knicks winning Game 3 in Indiana, There'd be a lot of energy there tonight from those Pacer fans. A lot of energy. Which is why everyone should be subscribing to my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Hello, Carmichael Dave here. 101 and 102 this weekend. And it's only May. Usually maybe there's a once in a while a high 90s, maybe a 100 in May, but for the most part, it stays. We still have pretty decent days through most of June, and then woof. Not anymore. That's why you need American Energy right now to come out. $24.50 is half off their regular price to tune up your air conditioning unit, inspect it, make sure everything's hunky-dory. And if not, either replace it, in which you can get up to $4,000 in rebates for qualified buyers, or they can do whatever work needs to be done to make sure that thing's all good to go all summer long. You don't want your air conditioner pooping out on you this summer. No way. Don't take the chance. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. We'll take a break. Indy and the New York Knicks. The saga continues. Next.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis. Put the frosting on the cake. Put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Jalen McMillan is a wide receiver out of the University of Washington. Third-round pick to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But it's his pre-draft interview with the Bucs that has gone viral. There's a video where they talk about, does he have any hobbies, his free time, all that stuff. And he says, quote, I like to go to the grocery store and collect off-brand cereals and try different potato chip flavors. Last week I had avocado vanilla. It was disgusting. And yes, I do all that by myself, which is good to know he's not going out with a huge crew of people that are rabid off-brand cereal collectors. But I started thinking, is that, well, first off, avocado vanilla sounds like a complete fail. I understand some people put avocado in their shakes. It is a fruit after all, I think. But Off-brand cereals. Does that just mean anything that's not Kellogg's or Post? Or does that mean like every time you see like somebody come out with like Gatorade fruit punch flavored crunchy O's or something? Because that's actually something I could see myself getting into. I'm a big fan of cereal. Huge fan of cereal. Shout out to Mr. Kellogg for inventing it and Mr. Post for trying to steal it. I could get into some off-brand cereal ideas. I'm sure there's some actually really good cereals out there that, like one time I tried Cracklin' Oat Bran, Chris. It's like these little brown squares with holes in the middle. And oh my God, it was actually incredibly good. But can you imagine a cereal called Cracklin' Oat Bran? I think a lot of it's just like people aren't going to like grape nuts because it's called grape nuts.
Yeah, I never tried it.
You never tried grape nuts?
Uh-uh.
They're not bad. They're not great. No pun intended. They're not bad.
Man, I haven't had cereal in a long time.
Really, I'm surprised you're not a cereal guy. I'm really surprised you're not a cereal guy.
I was for a long time.
What happened?
I don't know. Like I don't drink milk all that much. So
you can do it with almond milk though.
Yeah, I usually do it with oat milk. But I don't know. It's just I haven't had like the urge. I haven't had the craving for cereal.
Looking for, just real quick before we get into the other stuff, I want to look at most popular cereals. This was taken in March of this year.
It's got to be Cinnamon Toast Crunch, right?
This are shares of respondents in the United States who said they consumed the following cereals in the past 12 months, with 43% of the vote, meaning 43% of these respondents, 18 to 64, had tried the cereal in the last year. In first place, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch a little too sweet for me, not going to lie. And a little too dusty for me. Like the milk gets all, I don't mind the cinnamon or I think there's too much toast in there.
I want to say wasn't there something where they were selling like cereal milk? Is that something we've talked about before?
Yeah. But I want to say the video I saw of it, you probably saw the same one, was like, I think they were in Mexico. They were in some foreign country. And it was like Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk, like right out of the cooler. It's like, where the hell has this been? Also, not a huge fan of cereal milk. And I know that I'm on an island there. I don't know. It's just all warm and weird by the time I'm there. Number 2, Cheerios, 41%. I would not have guessed third place. Fruity Pebbles, tied with Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch, overrated, although the chocolate peanut butter is pretty good.
They make a chocolate peanut butter?
Huh?
I knew about the peanut butter. I didn't know about the chocolate peanut butter.
Oh, yeah.
I used to do the Cocoa Puffs with the peanut butter crunch.
No, when I say chocolate peanut butter, I'm sorry, I should have specified. I would mix chocolate and peanut butter Captain Crunch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, they've got a chocolate Captain Crunch?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I'm 90% sure they have a chocolate Captain Crunch now that you mentioned it. Also, I might have been high. Apple Jacks at 30%. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. Frosted Flakes at 29%. Lucky Charms 28%. I have to be in a mood for Lucky Charms. Raisin Bran. Where the hell is Honey Bunches of Oats? How is that not number 2?
That's a solid one.
That's my favorite one, probably. It's the one I eat the most. You get those little chunks of honey nut. Interesting. You know what else is interesting? That Indy took care of the Knicks in game 2. Tough scene at Madison Square Garden, Chris, because in Indy, we know about the whole overtime, choke sign, everything in game 1. Game 3, or game 2, excuse me, completely different story. That was a back and forth game. I know we have some audio. So where in that game do we pick up, Chris? Knicks versus Pacers.
I mean, let's start in the first quarter just to show you that the first half was run by the Knicks. Not run, but like they were leading in the first half. Jalen Brunson to OG Anunoby.
Pick and roll alley-oop. OG with the jam, and the Knicks take a 24-22 lead.
You know, I called for a little alley-oop action with Mitchell Robinson, but it is actually his presence that still allows for that to happen because Pascal Siakam was so locked in on Robinson on the block that OG Anunoby got loose.
Okay. All right. OG Anunoby. By the way, I saw something it was yesterday. They were saying, you know, if Kawhi Leonard had just stayed with Toronto, where it was Kawhi, Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, I forget the other ones, but there was like 7 dudes there that were either just starting or straight up in their prime. It makes you wonder if Kawhi had stayed in Toronto, if they would still be contending for a title today. They certainly would have been contending over the last few years and probably would have gotten another one. That team was stacked in retrospect. But back and forth. Then what happened, Chris?
In the third quarter, it was Tyrese Halliburton.
Turner to the near corner. Nobody on Halliburton, and that'll cost New York 3 points.
Yeah, defensive transition, 0 for the Knicks there, and Pacers take full advantage with an open 3-point shot.
Okay, then.
Indy's announcers are always confusing me because if I just played that for someone, they're like, oh, that's the Knicks calling that shot. No.
Replay that. Replay that to underscore your point because you're so right, dude.
Turner to the near corner. Nobody on Halliburton, and that'll cost New York 3 points.
Yeah, defensive transition, 0 for the Knicks there, and Pacers take full advantage with an open 3-point shot.
You're so right. What I forget which part was. I think it was Indy winning in Cleveland.
Yes.
And they were just like, and that's the final buzzer, and Indiana beats Cleveland, and takes a 2-1 lead.
Continue on to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, like, what are we... Like, I understand, and I have a certain amount of respect. There's some announcers that say, hey, listen, you know, I'm here to call the game. I'm not here to freak out. I'm not going to use 900 catchphrases. I'm just going to call the game, and I'm going to stay pretty mellow, and I'm going to try to be, as non-biased. I'm going to call balls and strikes. I get that. But, dude, your hometown broadcast, especially when it's Indiana, who they're not there all the time, let's be honest. Your hometown broadcast should be a little over the top, I think. I personally do not think that's great. Either way, though, what happened after that then?
Let's see if they get excited for a Pascal Siakam and 1.
7:01 left in the third. Siakam again rolls in a scoop left of the lane, and he's on the line with a chance for a 3-point play.
Have yourself a major night on this stage when it's most needed here. Just attacking Hart gets him out of position. They'll get an and 1 opportunity.
I mean, it's an and 1. I to each their own, Chris, right? But maybe that's just how Indiana people are.
Maybe.
You just, how you doing? Well, I'm good. Gonna be weather. My knee's hurting. Maybe they're just not excitable people. Like Larry Bird was pretty quiet. Jerry Reynolds done spaz out. Oh, wait, Jerry Reynolds from Indiana. He had all kinds of cool catchphrases and excitement.
I think because he was in California for so long.
Maybe. That's true. Finally, how'd this thing end, Chris? Knicks and Indy.
Well, it ended with, we heard him before, Pascal Siakam with the layup.
He's not had a good night shooting the ball, but he's got 7 rebounds, and the Pacers waste little time getting it to the other end, where Siakam converts off the pass from Halliburton.
And it's, again, the Knicks' transition defense is absolutely the worst right now.
Look at that. Look at that. Well, Indy took care of New York in game 2. What happened in game 3? We also have game 4 tonight. But we're going to pause real quick. We're going to take a break. When we come back, a special early appearance from Kelly Brothers, not being good at business today, although he's good at business every day. He's going to talk to us about the icon that is Stan Atkinson. That is Stan Atkinson. If you grew up in this town, if you have a certain age, you'll want to stay tuned. Also,
show prep real quick. Is he going to be on video or?
No, I'm sorry. He's going to be on audio, and we're only going to keep him till 50. He's got a heart out. So, and then Lisa Gonzalez is going to join us a little bit after that as well. We'll take a break. We'll come back with Kelly Brothers next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. SubcontractorsUnited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Oh, I gotta get business cards printed for my entire staff, but where do I even?
That was easy.
Oh, okay, Staples. But can I have bigger stuff printed too, like huge signs and banners?
That was easy.
Nice. And what if I had to ship a package?
That was easy.
Have my passport photo taken?
That was easy.
Coffee and snacks?
That was easy.
What about the latest laptops?
That was
Earbuds
easy.
and headphones?
That was
Office
easy.
chairs?
That was easy.
I think I also need to get some Staples.
Seriously?
I had to ask.
For everything your business needs to get the job done.
Staples. That was easy.
This Memorial Day, don't just make plans, drive them. With Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event, the road's calling for you, your playlist, and your new ride. Right now, get a low-cost lease on a 2025 RAV4. Or shop the industry's best lineup of hybrid SUVs, like the Grand Highlander Hybrid, Land Cruiser, or the Toyota Crown Signia. Toyota's got the ride to match your summer vibe. Hurry into Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event today. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Offers end 6/2/25.
Saturday, June 7th, the Spears Cars Tours West lights up the Stockton 99 Speedway with limited and pro late models. MMI Legends, mini stocks, and NCMA sprints. Presented to you by Tracy Ford. Gates open at 5, racing at 6. Grab your tickets now at Stockton99.com. Be there.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix. Live and local. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Jason's off at Bandon Dunes, having a hopefully great time. Much needed vacay for Jay. That rhymed. And we're going to do something a little different for unfortunate reasons. Well, I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. It's unfortunate, but also what a life lived. As I said before, we took a break. We're a sports show and all that, but we're local. And if you're, I don't know, above 35, 30 maybe, you saw Stan Atinson do his work. I think most would associate him with Channel 3, even though he split stations at one point. But to call him a Sacramento icon is an understatement. To call him the king of all Sacramento news, I think, is an understatement. And as Chris pointed out, his Wikipedia page, take a second and just go read it. And you want to talk about a guy that didn't get cheated. So although it's very, very sad to lose Stan over the weekend, 92 years old, did not get cheated in any way, shape, or form. And somebody who worked with him and knew him at Channel 3, who generally joins us to talk sports business every week, is nice enough to make a special appearance here. Kelly, good morning. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
Dave, I'm good. I appreciate it, and you're right. This is not a sad day for any of us. I don't think. Just because I went to see Stan a few weeks ago, and he was ready. He knew this was the end, and he was ready. He was 92, and he still had the sparkle in his eye and that great smile. But he knew it was his time. And but you're right. What a history, the king of Sacramento television, whose memory will live forever, no doubt.
One of my big regrets, Kelly, I never had a chance to meet the man. I rely completely on folks like you that knew him well, but back in the day, yourself, of course, included, but Stan, Margaret Pelly, Bob Hogue, Creighton Sanders, the list goes on and on of, Channel 3, and I'm not just saying this because they're our content partner, has dominated local news, I think, literally forever. It's whoever's going to finish second is what happens. And credit to a lot of people. I don't want to disrespect anybody at all, but it sure does seem like Stan was the absolute foundation of all of that.
No, he was. And I got to Channel 3 in 1989, where Stan was kind of at the peak of his powers. And remember, it wasn't just that Stan was incredible, and he was smart, and he was curious, and he was generous. I mean, he was a great man. There's no doubt. But the times were completely different. There was nowhere else to go for your news. The B was actually relevant back then, and that was obviously a part of it too. But there wasn't the fragmentation we see today. There was no internet. There was no social media, and everyone tuned into Stan, at 5 and 6 o'clock. And not only that, he was paired with an owner, John Kelly, who cared deeply about the news and who cared deeply about our understanding of the news, not just here, but around the world. So he sent Stan everywhere. I mean, Stan went to, South America and Cambodia, and he did this incredible trip to Vietnam. So it was a different time, and he fit it perfectly. One of the great gifts I have is he gave me his Gunga Stan vest that he would wear on some of those trips. Because he wore the same vest on a lot of the trips. Maybe the best story, though, Dave, if you'll allow, is, Stan, everyone knew Stan. If you went anywhere with Stan, out to dinner, out to get a drink after work, Stan was the king. And so some friends of mine traveled with Stan to Iraq right before the first Gulf War. And they traveled for 24 hours straight, and they got to Baghdad. And they go to the hotel and check in, and Stan says, "Guys, I can't just go to bed. Someone come down and have a drink with me. Come on, it's late on a Sunday night. Just someone come down." And they went down to this basement bar, and it's completely empty except for two guys sitting in a booth. And this little crew from Sacramento walks in, and the two guys in the booth stand up and say, "Stan Atinson, what are you doing here?" Yeah, and they were Iraqi citizens who had gone to Sac State and knew Stan from that, and were now back acting as translators for the media. But it was just indicative of how Stan was known.
I thank you so much for joining us. I know you got a heart out here. Last thing, because you really mentioned it. when you talked about how times were different, Kelly, and the care that the owners took, the Kelly brothers, as you often say, which I think is hilarious, took with the news and everything around the world. When you read about Stan, and I remember seeing, the promos like Stan Atkinson live in Cambodia, a KCRA special, like that doesn't happen anymore in local news. And I think I read something like he went to like 18 war-torn countries or something in his day. And like you said, Iraq and Cambodia and Hong Kong when they reunified, and the Soviet bloc and all that. That just, he seeked out danger to show sides of the news we didn't get a chance to see.
Oh no, Stan was. If there were bullets flying over his head, Stan was happiest. He was very brave, and he was very. He wanted to go to these places, and he knew that if he went, people in Sacramento would pay more attention to that story if it was instead of him doing it, instead of some kind of nameless, faceless network correspondent. So he went, and he enjoyed talking about our place in the world. And of course, maybe the highlight of all his foreign trips was he had a very good friend, B.T. Collins, who, if you have not read up on B.T. Collins, he was an incredible character who also became a state legislator. And I remember having to tell Stan that B.T. had died. I was on the story that day. They were all at who was speaking? I think it was Colin Powell was speaking at a local hotel, and BT sadly had a heart situation and passed away that night at Mercy Hospital. And I was there. I had to call Stan and say, "Hey, Stan, BT is gone." And you could just hear, in his voice and how sad he was to lose his friend BT. So Stan had many, had incredible great years. He also, losing BT, losing his son Lance inexplicably, there was pain in Stan's life too, and he brought it all to the screen in a sense of empathy that the rest of us could only hope to emulate.
Well, that's what I was hoping for, Kelly. I know you worked with him, and anyone I know that knew Stan has absolutely no problem. In fact, enjoys sharing those stories. And I just want to make sure that he's celebrated today, as he will be throughout the days and weeks. Just the best that ever was. So we've already gone late. I'll shut up. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you Thursday.
Anytime, Dave. We all love Stan, and yeah, check out. Spend some time, watch some of the videos. He was excellent at what he did, and he loved Sacramento and loved living here and being a part of the fabric of this city. And you're right, there'll be some great stories told, and his memorial service will be something. I'm not even sure where or when it is yet, but that will be a moment. So thanks for having me on, Dave. I look forward to talking to you Thursday.
Okay, all right, my man. Take care. Thank you, Kelly. That's Kelly Brothers. He joins us normally, as you know, on Thursday to talk business. But in this case, who better to talk about Stan Atkinson than a guy that works so closely with him? And we're going to pause here in a second, and we'll get back to our regularly scheduled programming, including the Pacers and Knicks, the Kings, and who they're rumored to be interested in, whether or not it's real or not. And if it is, let's look. Look. It's silly season, and we're not immune to at least dabbing our toes in the silliness, at least from a research standpoint, so we all understand who we're talking about, what all that's about. When we return, though, we're going to double up, and then we'll be done. It was very important to me to spend a little time on Stan Atkinson today, and little bits and pieces here and there. So we had Kelly on, and then coming up in a couple minutes when we get back, she's still there right now, our good friend TV's Lisa Gonzalez at KCRA, who when I texted her last night, and it's funny, I've known Lisa since high school, and I don't know that I'd ever asked her about Stan. So when I heard the news, I texted her thinking about today. I said, did you, in fact, let me bring it up. She won't mind me sharing this, I don't think. I said something like, did you, because I didn't think they worked together. I wasn't sure if she started there after he was there. And I guess we'll find that out when we talk to her. But I said, hey, did you did you know Stan well? And she said, very well. He was my idol, and I got to say goodbye. So that's all I needed to hear. So when we get back, we'll bring on TV's Lisa Gonzalez from Channel 3. We'll talk a little bit about that. And always good to have Lisa on. So we'll get there right after this.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
To hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber. I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Tuesday. Out the door to a cool start that you may need a layer. As we head through the afternoon, it'll be bright and it's going to be pretty warm. Temperatures this afternoon above normal with highs in the low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's about time they
fixed that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. What's going on, Chad, for Chrysler's Employee Pricing Plus event?
If you've been struggling to find the right Ram heavy duty that fits within your budget, the search is over with Hoblet's Employee Pricing Plus event, where we give you the employee price and then take even more off. Right now, save up to 10% off MSRP on brand new 2025 Ram heavy duty 2500s and 3500s. Don't miss your chance to save big like the Employee of the Month at Hoblet Dodge.
And you're always one of the top Ram truck dealers in the entire nation.
It's true, and I think it boils down to our huge selection of hard-to-find Ram heavy duties with over 300 available and our award-winning customer service.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com.
10% total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 3500 Laramie after 1,500 factory rebates and 9,075 dealer discount, including employee pricing for all. Rebates include 500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. And Hoblet discount between 7,100 and 9,075, depending on trim level, for a total of 10% off MSRP. Aid of this net savings, sample VIN 02043. See dealer for details.
Trey Songz, live. All the hits, all in one night. Trey Songz. Friday, June 20th, the venue at Thunder Valley. With special guest, Jeremiah. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com and see the show. Trey Songz, Friday, June 20th, the venue at Thunder Valley.
Daisy was abandoned by her family and placed in foster care at 15 years old. Her life was full of uncertainty. She thought she'd never have a permanent place to call home.
Before I was adopted, I felt like I wasn't enough. I had this hole in my heart, and I never knew what I needed to patch that hole. But when my mom asked to adopt me, that hole was closed. It feels so normal now to say that I'm a part of this family. I am surrounded by love. I feel safe. And that hole inside of me is gone. I am whole. I'm finally enough just as I am.
The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is changing the lives of teenagers at risk of aging out of foster care. Like Daisy, every child deserves a permanent, loving home. You can help. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Okay, halfway through. I see MC in the chat. Hope he, I never know I always stumble on this every year. I never know I always stumble on the proper, I caught myself saying, I hope he had a wonderful Memorial Day, but it's like like my dad would correct me, like, you don't say Happy Memorial Day. It's Happy Veterans Day. But it's not, Memorial Day is about honoring our fallen soldiers. So saying happy sounds, you know what I mean. So I hope MC, who served us, I think saying had an enjoyable Memorial Day in thought and all the stuff, that you do. So, and I hope the rest of you did as well. And Lisa Gonzalez is going to join us here momentarily. She will be calling in to answer. She is in. I apologize. Oh, look at that. Thank you. Joining us right now, back to back with Kelly Brothers, as we honor Stan Atinson before we get back to all things basketball and all of that. Hope you're enjoying it as well. Lisa Gonzalez, our dear friend from KCRA. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Dave. How are you?
I am good, and I thank you for asking. I know you are well and busy, so I appreciate the time. I just wanted to take a chunk out of the show today. We just had a pretty, about a 5-minute conversation with Kelly, who worked with Stan, knew him well, and I shared that I had texted you yesterday when I learned of Stan's passing, and said, did you know Stan well? And I communicated to the audience. You said yes. He was my idol, and and you got a chance to say goodbye, which is fantastic. Kelly had said that Stan knew it was time. We had talked about the fact that Stan didn't get cheated. I'm sure you'll agree that when you think of Sacramento news, the very first name is Stan Atinson, and it's probably always going to be that way.
Absolutely. And I think that, Stan is the man, and he always will be the man. And, he really created a Sacramento that, will live on long beyond his time here. So you were talking about Memorial Day. And before we talk about Stan, I also just wanted to mention it is awkward when you say Happy Memorial Day because It's not a happy thing, because we lost so many people, and you and I lost a friend on Memorial Day, Joe Schultz, who graduated from El Camino High School.
Yeah.
And actually I believe Stan may have known his family, but he died on Memorial Day weekend. He was one of those people. He was on the fast track politically, and he was running Governor Gray Davis's office in Washington, D.C. And then 9/11 happened, and he completely stopped his political career and enlisted in the Army, and was a leader in the Army, and was killed by an IED on Memorial Day. This was like maybe 10 years ago. So it's just, it's a day that we really need to stop and think about people that paid the ultimate price. Stan was also one of those people, but he did so through journalism, and he sacrificed so much. And I just saw him in hospice about a month ago. And I think the last time we texted was a couple of weeks ago. I was looking at my text last night because I could tell it was getting closer to the end, because his responses to me would be fewer and far between. But he really, his way of serving was getting the stories that people cared about, going where people cared about, in a time where, you couldn't just hop on a plane and take a JetBlue flight over to London or something like that. He really sacrificed time with his family. He sacrificed, like people in the military do, put himself in harm's way many a time, and went to battlefields just to tell the story from someone that people trusted. And I do think that he was such a good example for me. For me, he was the only consistent male role model I had in my whole life. And I didn't have a father figure or someone like that I could rely on, but I had Stan, and I knew that if I sat down and watched him every night, at 5, then he would be there and I would see him, and we trusted him, and he was trustworthy. And I think that that's something that I carry with me every day, because I realize in this day and age, it's so hard for people to know who to trust, where they could get their news. There's so many sources. There's streaming and influencers, and it's hard to know who to trust. And I always feel like, at least in Northern California, people know they have me. They have KCRA. They can depend on me. They can depend on my colleagues. And I take that really seriously. Stan kind of passed the torch on to me a long time ago, and he's always been someone that even during big stories or breaking news, he'd send me a little email or text and say, like, "Good job, kiddo." And I love the instant feedback from him, because I would know if we're going in the right direction, or he would help me think about things, or maybe next time that happens, let me think about telling the story this way. But the whole purpose is always, our audience is always, that's just my first and foremost. Like, what is affecting everyone right now? What's happening right now? Find the humanity, and I definitely hear Stan's voice, in that. So, and I could just say, when I saw him recently, he was in such good spirits. Although his wife did tell me that, because I text his wife a lot too, that we really made his day, when we went and saw him. But he was just so sharp. It's a little hard for me to wrap my mind around the fact that he's not really here. So, because he was still so sharp. My grandmother just died at 94, and that was not the case. She had dementia, that sort of thing. But Stan, I think he could have anchored the news that night that I saw him just weeks ago. He is mentally so with it. So,
Lisa Gonzalez joining us, and thank you so much for opening up and being vulnerable like this, because I can tell how close you both were, and you and I are the same age. We went to went to school and grew up on Stan and Margaret Pelly and Creighton Sanders and Bob Hogue and Betty Vasquez, and talking to Kelly about it, like, there's KCRA and the news comes first. It's always been like, it's just who's going to finish second, because they've always dominated Sacramento news. And Stan, even as a little kid, I remember him saying, "We've got news for you. Pause, pause, pause. Next." And then you knew things were about to start. But I didn't know this, because you and I purposely didn't want to talk to you about this off the air. I wanted to hear it on the air for the first time, because you and I are of the same generation, and Stan kind of was when we were kids. And then I know he switched late in his career. He switched to another station, but I was curious as to.
13. Yeah, I was there with him, and I was his intern at 13, and I got an internship because he was there, because I thought, this is my chance. I was dancing for the Sacramento Kings, and he had switched there, and I graduated from college, and I was like, this is my chance to go work with Stan. So I can tell you that more, but go ahead.
No, that's where I was leading to, is I just wanted to, I love the way you articulated how he was a prominent male, a prominent father figure in your life growing up, which I think a lot of us in that generation can, Stan was the guy you watched at night with your parents or whomever, and then you getting a chance to make the transition to news over at 13. So that explains that you guys worked together there, because I thought maybe he had left 3 before you got in, and he did. How was that connection, and how long did it take, or did you ever get from idolizing him in the sense that I'm watching the star I grew up watching, to I'm with this dear friend of mine that I trust and love?
Yeah. Oh, so much to say. They say don't meet your childhood heroes because it'll be disappointing. Well, it was the opposite with Stan. he just exceeded my expectation, and was even more amazing in person, and then getting to know him as a teacher or mentor when I was an intern at 13, and always took some time to talk to me. And I worked for Procter & Gamble at the time, and I didn't tell anyone that I was a dancer for the Sacramento Kings because I did not know how that would go over in the newsroom. But he knew, and he didn't treat me any differently, and that made me feel a lot better. I mean, I also graduated from Berkeley and was working for Procter & Gamble, but he just always gave me great advice and was so respectful, even though I was just a kid. I mean, you know, he would call me kiddo, but I think he probably always saw me as that I think I was 22-year-old intern. So I mean, I was very mature for my age. I already owned a home and everything, and I graduated college, but still, relatively speaking, he just always gave me great advice, and I think gave me great advice about always just be honest with viewers, and I try to do that, especially during. I do that, but I mean that's always in the forefront, especially during breaking news. A lot of times we don't have all the information, but I'm just as honest and transparent as I can be. So,
you know, there's a line in a Jack Johnson song that always got me. It says, "How do newscasters not cry when they read the news with all the terrible?"
Oh,
things.
I cry.
Well,
no, I know that Jack Johnson. I cry sometimes. You know, it's really hard. I think also he gave me some advice about personal life and you know, stuff that I won't really share, but he, you know, he made a real sacrifice. And I've never met his children, but I just want to like tell them thank you, because now having raised children as a news anchor, it's a bit of a sacrifice. You don't ever get to go anywhere. And I'm not complaining in any way, but I'm saying it's a lot for kids sometimes of news anchors.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. I remember my son when he was little, we were in the grocery store, and he saw me. He's like, "Mom, how are you friends with everybody? Why does everyone know you?" And it was just really weird for my kids growing up.
You're exposed.
Yeah, it is. So it's a lot for kids like that. But I would definitely like to thank his kids one day when we get to that point.
Well, the theme today has been, you know, although it's sad that he passed, but 92 years old. We were going through his Wikipedia page, you know, remember all the promos, Stan Atkinson live in whatever war-torn country he was at, in a completely different time when the news, you know, was different, where he, from a local level, would run into danger, was mugged, was gone through all kinds of stuff to bring that here. And he is, I think, the all-time, you know, Walter Cronkite, they say nationally, but I think Stan Atkinson locally when it comes to most trusted voices. What is it? I mean, can you even sum up in one word to wrap it up? Because, Lisa, I got to be honest. I said this to Kelly. I never met the man, and it kills me that I didn't all these years, because I idolized him so much, and we have so many common friends, but I never met the man. So I'm living vicariously through you. What do you think can you pin down what you'll miss the most?
Oh, wow. I mean, I can't pin down what I miss the most, but, you know, he had such an infectious smile and spirit and his voice, but he was such a true professional and such a great listener, which young people who get into my business don't understand. Being a good listener is the number one quality. That's what you need the most. And, I don't know if there's just one word, but he is an icon. I mean, he is an icon, and in every sense of the word. And I'm honored that I got to know him. I'm honored that I got to meet him. Not every kid gets to meet their idol and have them turn out to be great. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I truly did, and he truly was the best. I just think he just raised the bar so high. And, he kind of gave me the the reins, and it's, it's kind of like this. I just got to continue, with what he started, because you mentioned it's always been KCRA, but that takes a lot of work. It's a lot of work to be number one, but it's even more work to stay number one and to continue to earn trust and continue to get the best stories for people, the stories that really matter, go out of our way, continue to dig, continue to hold politicians accountable, and especially here in California. And I think, it's just one of those things that he's just always kind of in the forefront of my mind, because there's a lot to live up to, and we can't mess it up. We need to, he started something so great. And he came back to Sacramento the year I was born, and I just think that was for a reason. God knew what I needed, and that was definitely him. And because of him, I wanted to be a journalist, and he's the only reason. I can't say it was anybody else, or, people during Women's History Month, they always ask me, is there a female that you look up to? No, I don't. There's not really anyone in my business at all that I look up to. I met the female version of Stan that I looked up to in New York City at ABC Good Morning America, and it was so disappointing. So I won't say who that person was. It was so disappointing. And, there isn't anyone else I look up to except for Stan. I just really don't trust I just don't trust a lot of people. I don't trust a lot of journalists out there, especially, at other levels. But at the local level, I always trusted Stan, and he just taught me to be a great journalist. And that is someone who takes all sides in consideration, reports the news, reports the facts. It's where the news comes first. Now, sometimes sports and weather become news, but that's what's news, and news comes first. So it's very simple, and we just stick to that.
Well, you're a huge sports fan, and you know that coaches have coaching trees. I like to think that Stan had a journalism tree, and it sounds like you're quite the branch on that tree. I don't think I need to imagine, but just listening to you talk about him, that if he's listening to this interview right now, he's smiling, and he's quite proud of everything you've done. So thanks for coming on, being vulnerable, Lise. I love you to pieces, and that's why people tune into you, because you're one of us. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Thank you so much. And, thank you to all of the families out there who lost a loved one serving our country, and to all the families and the people who are serving right now. I really appreciate your sacrifice. And I had a lot of people in my family serve in the military, and it's a huge sacrifice. And so being a journalist pales in comparison to that. But man, Stan really, he went everywhere, and he went through a lot, not like a veteran, but he was there trying to tell the stories for people because they couldn't be there. So we remember him, and we remember all those people that fell serving our country.
Kelly mentioned that Stan's memorial service, whenever and wherever it's going to be, is going to be, my goodness, the people that are there. It's going to be something to see, because I don't know that anybody says Sacramento more than Stan Atinson. I imagine you'll be there too. And by the way, everybody can watch Lisa carry on to the best of her ability that legacy on Channel 3 each and every weekday, bringing us what's going on. So including that weather this weekend, Lisa, what's going on? 100 degrees, not having it.
It's Sacramento. You should know this is going to happen.
I know. Are you watching what the Kings? Are you excited about the Kings off season?
No, I'm not. I'm not excited. You're going to take me from tears to seeing red and green.
I know.
I'm excited they're going to give Doug Christie a shot, and I'm excited Bobby Jackson's back to help out. But are they? Anyways, don't get me started, Dave. I'm not trying to lose my job this morning.
just so people know, Lisa and I are friends, obviously off the radio, and I can tell you that Lisa and I are, because you all know how I am as a Kings fan. Lisa and I are pretty much the same exact person when it comes to our outlook on the team. I will absolutely say she probably gets more fired up than I do, and that's saying something.
Oh, Yeah, I think so. I think you have learned to temper it a little bit, but because it's not my full-time job, it's not tempered at all. They have a joke in the newsroom that I need my own sports podcast called The Sports Rage, but really I would just be talking about the Kings the whole time. It was
one day,
it's just horrible. I'm like, sorry. It made me so mad when it finally get to the playoffs, and then all of the new bandwagon Kings fans, I got hundreds of texts. Don't worry, there's next season. Don't worry, there's next season. Just smile. There's next. Listen, if one more person says next, there's not. There's not next season. We've seen this a million times.
One of these days when you and I are retiring from media, I'm gonna go back and hopefully I can find them. I'll share some of the late evening texts after a particularly tough loss that I get from you, which I'm not going to read, but no, I won't. I'm just saying, you don't have any issues speaking your mind, and I love that about you.
Yeah. I mean, I try to stay off X, but, usually it's something the Kings do that gets me back on X. It's pretty annoying, but yeah, we'll see. I'm going to try and get myself in a good headspace by the time the season starts and be optimistic, because I'm a very optimistic person, but, they usually just suck it out of me, but we'll see.
Okay. Hey, well, then we'll end the interview like that.
No. And it's so fun, too, just watching Tyrese do so well. So fun. Just yet another former Kings player doing so well, not in Sacramento.
Isn't it great? Isn't it fun? Give me one good reason to be optimistic about next season, Lisa. Go. Just one.
Doug Christie. I'll say Doug Christie.
Okay, that's fair.
All right. And what, we have Robert Horry Day yesterday? I mean, really?
Oh, God. Come on.
Oh, I know. Someone has a picture of that shot in their office, and I always joke. I'm like, have you taken your online harassment training? Because this feels like very hostile to me. I walk in and I see this picture.
Okay.
We joke.
Next time I'm there, just casually take me by that person's office when we're not there. I'll handle business.
All right. We'll just absolutely bump that picture off the wall. All right.
Thank you, dear. I appreciate it. Drive safely. By the way, what time are you on today for everybody who's wanting to watch?
Noon. You can have lunch with Lisa and KCRA 3 News at 4 and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
You're the best. Thank you seriously so much for sharing those stories with us. That was awesome. And I will talk to you very soon.
All right. Bye, Dave. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. That's Lisa Gonzalez. I promised you this.
So weird that Sean Cunningham has a picture of Robert Horry in his office at KCRA. He just got there.
You know what's funny? Chris, I wasn't going to say that, but you said it. I'm certainly not going to deny that. I've always wondered the same thing, why Sean Cunningham at KCRA 3 has a picture of Robert Horry in his office. You would think Sean Cunningham wouldn't do that.
Dude, you just got there. Why are you trying to make trouble?
Right. Eric in the chat. Why is Dave drinking wine on the show? Eric, what are you? Is there clear wine? I guess that'd be like what, vodka? No, it's water. We'll take a break. We went long and for a very good reason. That's exactly what I was hoping for. I honestly, I did not know the extent of Lisa's relationship with Stan, and she could not have articulated that better, as you guys have mentioned both on the chat and especially on the text line. So look, wanted to pay homage to Stan, and I hope that I think Kelly and Lisa did as good or better than anybody possibly could. So rest in peace, Stan, and you will I'm really looking forward. I don't want to speak for KCRA, but I would be shocked. In fact, I can all but guarantee you there will, if there hasn't already been, programming, retro clips. You can go on YouTube and see a lot of it. I imagine it's going to be a celebration of Stan Atkinson coming up over the next few days and weeks in themselves. So we'll take a break. When we come back, let's do this, huh? The Kings have been rumored to be interested in a couple of players, one in particular that's making a lot of headlines. Let's take a look at these guys, salary, everything else, and see what works before we get into who's hot, who's not, and streaking, and all that fun stuff. We'll do all that right after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different. What makes you so different than the rest of us? We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship. Tell me more. Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs. How do you make money? We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better. What about client portfolios? We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs. Your clients really come first then, huh? Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. Wow, maybe we are different. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! La Paul George went up and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are two new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. Try the TrackMan experience, the very best technology to fit your metal woods and irons. The new cutting-edge putter fitting studio with its $30,000 worth of technology is ready for your fitting. Hagen Oaks will help you find the best putter for your game. Hagen Oaks offers more technology, more choices, and more service. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531, 808-2531 for more.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, we know it's still fairly early, but in a poll conducted by MLB.com, A's shortstop Jacob Wilson was the runaway leader for American League Rookie of the Year. And why not? He leads AL rookies in virtually every important offensive category. The last A's Rookie of the Year, Andrew Bailey, back in 2009.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, from Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SacSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and centrally located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at sacssuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. sacssuperstore.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Saturday, June 7th, the Spears Cars Tours West lights up the Stockton 99 Speedway with limited and pro late models, MMI Legends, mini stocks, and NCMA sprints. Presented to you by Tracy Ford. Gates open at 5, racing at 6. Grab your tickets now at Stockton99.com. Be there.
Who has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Sorry, Chris. How late was I there?
Just a couple seconds.
Okay, good. Sorry. So did I step on the rejoiner?
No.
You already played it?
I did.
Okay, good. Sorry, I was calling somebody. I was on the phone with somebody else talking about Mr. Stan Atinson. We're so glad you're back. Welcome in. Just a recap. Jason Ross, if you're just tuning in, he is in Bandon Dunes. This is his favorite trip of the year. He and his buddies go every single year to walk some of the most beautiful golf courses in the world. And we looked at the weather. Chris and I did earlier. We did a KHTK weather check. Sorry, Sacktown Sports weather check. We did that, and looks like it's as good a weather as it can possibly be for this time of year up there. So hopefully Jason is making putts and birdies as well, as that saying goes.
A game of golf.
Golf. And seriously, Jason, I know we joke about it, but man, I love when Jason gets time. I don't like it when Jason gets time off because the show's harder. But I very much like him getting time off between. It just sucks for him. And I know he's the last one to complain, but when you've got your King stuff and this show, even like during the holidays, I'm taking a week off for Christmas, but there's 3 Kings games. He's still working. So to be able to not have Kings and not have this,
Jason's the kind of guy just like, we're in an emergency. We are so sorry. Like, yeah, I'll postpone this. I can do this. I can work around that. But on this trip, it would be, no, you figured it out.
I know.
That's how much he loves this trip.
Yes. This is the one time he'd be like, yeah, sorry, it's going to be Brendan Nunez in the morning, dude. Whatever, Allen move up or replay Whitey and Kyle from the night before, which I don't blame him. Get out of here. And Campeo on the chat, hey, it's rough without J. Ross. Well, thanks. That might be going a little too far.
We can say that.
Yeah, we can say that. You're supposed to say, hey, we miss Jason, but you guys are doing a great job.
You guys are trying.
Yeah, right. You don't have to mean it. You don't have to mean it. But you say it's rough without J. Ross. Well, that's gonna be in my head all day. I don't want to hear the other side, like when I'm gone. When I think every time I'm gone, I guarantee you Jason gets at least a couple texts like, the show's so much better without Dave. Which, hey, that's fine. I don't want to hear that about Jason. The show's not better without him. But you don't have to go all in about like, it's rough without J. Ross. Rough without J. Ross. There you go. Eric said it the best. We miss Jason, but you guys are trying. See?
Thank you.
I'll wear that. It's fine. Already had cereal talk. We have memorialized a Sacramento icon. Talked about both NBA series right now, baseball, attendance issues. We covered a lot of stuff. What, 2.5 hours? Whatever. Kings, not much going on the Kings front right now. It's not like they're doing draft prep.
It's a little too quiet.
Yeah, right, I know. Which I don't even know if that applies. I don't know this front office, so I don't know if that applies to them or not. Like on one hand, it's like it's quiet, too quiet. On the other hand, it might just be quiet, nothing's going on. But there are rumors galore. It's so funny. There's I forget the guy's name, but somebody on Twitter brought up the idea of DeMar DeRozan for Jrue Holiday on Twitter, and I was like, yeah, that ain't gonna work. Celtics won't do that. Well, now that seems to have caught on. I don't think necessarily from his tweet, but now you have actual journalists with a capital J saying that the Kings are rumored to be interested in Jrue Holiday. Now, look, I love Jrue Holiday. I absolutely love Jrue Holiday. And normally that's like preceded with a but. There's not much of a but there other than the following. Jrue Holiday is not a young man. That being said, Jrue Holiday continues to have very productive years and, just won a championship with Boston last year as a key cog to that team. And would have, I think very likely with Cleveland going down, had Jason Tatum not gotten hurt, who knows what would have happened in that series. But very well could have been on their way back to the NBA Finals. Jrue Holiday, his numbers are not going to jump off the page at you. This is one of those guys where you got to kind of you don't have to be a hoop head to know him. Obviously, he's a star. He's an all-star. He's a perennial defensive player for second team, either entrant or nominee. But when you look at his numbers, okay, if I was just to say, if you didn't know who Jrue Holiday was, and I would say, okay, well, here's who the Kings are looking to acquire. He's 34 years old. He'll be 35 in less than a month. He averages probably about 60 games a year. Played 62 last year. He averages 11 points, 4 assists, a little over 4 rebounds, half a block, and a steal. And he shoots 44, 35, and 91. Good splits. Decent enough, at least. But 11 points and 4 assists for a 35-year-old point guard who, by the way, your 35-year-old point guard is going to make $32 million next year, $35 million the year after, and then has a player option for $37 million, meaning that he is owed over $100 million over the next 3 years, and he will be 35, 36, and 37. I love Jrue Holiday. This would be a silly, silly move for the Kings, and I'll tell you why. Let's say, first off, in order to make the trade work, it would have to be I would imagine it's DeMar DeRozan, but it would have to be DeMar DeRozan and $10 million more of whatever. And that's by the way, if the Celtics would even do that without some sort of draft compensation or a Devin Carter type, some sort of young prospect. Jrue Holiday is the guy that you bring in like Fred VanVleet. Jrue Holiday is the guy that you bring in when you have a young, up-and-coming team with a bunch of youngsters that don't really know how to be NBA players yet, but they have talent through the roof. And you're bringing a guy in Jrue Holiday to stabilize everything, to teach these, to have the conversations with them on the team bus after the third loss in the row and on the road there in Philadelphia, and the Daubers are down, and here's Jrue Holiday to teach them how to be a pro. That's Jrue Holiday. I always preach defense. You're not going to get much better. You're not going to get much better. I don't care how old he is. You're not going to get much better than Jrue Holiday at point guard defensively. Somebody points out, Aaron, I think he's actually right that I forgot they have that trade exception they could use. I would rather have Jrue Holiday than DeMar DeRozan on this team just on spec. My big issue would be for what purpose? What are you trying to do? Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to win 5 more games? You probably will. But now all of a sudden you're taking on $100+ million over 3 years for an aging point guard on a team that already has vets. What's he going to teach Malik Monk, Domantas Sabonis, Zach LaVine? I do like the idea of Jrue Holiday working with Keon Ellis. But that is more of a retool move. You're not going to hear me rip. I'm not going to do the angry thing about Jrue Holiday. But the moves that the Kings are going to make are going to very much signal where they're thinking. That is a retool move. That is not a rebuild move. That is we want to get back into the play-in / playoffs any way possible, and we're fine being if we get a 6 seed, we get into the playoffs, or we play our way in, that's fine. But we're just rinsing and repeating at that point. Love Jrue Holiday. Don't see it as a good move for the Sacramento Kings in the overall plan, if you will, whatever that may be. We'll take a break. When we return, his name ain't the only name in the news. There's another guy. We'll get to that probably at 9 because we have who's hot, who's not, and we got to go streaking. We'll do all that in just 3 minutes.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Bring the whole family to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. It's more than a game. It's an experience your kids will never forget. Enjoy exciting action on the field, delicious ballpark food, and fun activities for all ages. From meeting Dinger the mascot to running the bases every Sunday, there's something for everyone. Create lasting memories with your family this season. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at ChooseMat.org.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner and oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, you know, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this half off tune-up right now? It's a special going on, just $24.50. To get your air conditioner tuned up a free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
This Memorial Day, forget the lawn chair. Roll up with horsepower instead, because Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event is on. So you can gear up, gas up, and go with great deals. Score a low-cost lease on a 2025 Tacoma, or low financing, or an incredible $3,000 cash back on a 2025 Tundra. Plus, check out the all-new 2025 4Runner. Head to Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event today. Toyota, let's go places. Offers available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Cashback available through TMNA and cannot be combined with other offers. N6225.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who is hot? Christopher Lod.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne.
It's weird that they copied that chant from the Sabonis chant.
I think the same. It's so strange, but you know what? If it's across, if it's in a different continent, I think we're fine with it. Yes, is he hot? Why? I thought wasn't that his last match for Manchester United or Manchester City?
It was his last match for Manchester City, and in 10 seasons, he won the Premier League 6 times, the League Cup 5 times, the Community Shield 3 times, the FA Cup 2 times, the Champions League, the UEFA Super Cup, and the FIFA Club World Cup to go along with 108 goals and 177 assists. Arguably one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, but I'm still waiting for the argument.
I see where you were going. I was like, arguably. Nah, dude. One of the best midfielders ever. Am I ever going to get you on side with saying Premier League or no? Is that ship sailing?
What's that?
Am I ever going to get you on side saying Premier League instead of, over in England, they can't stand it when we say Premier. They're like, it's not Premier. It's not a movie.
I saw, this is just going along with this. I saw an interview with Joe Hart, who played with Kevin De Bruyne, and as everyone talking about him, he said, man, just to have another teammate on the field out there with me. And I was like, whoa, so it's okay for an English person to say field, but it's not for us?
I just had this argument when I was over there over the weekend with a couple of my buddies there. We went to some pubby whatever to watch some of the finals on Sunday. Nottingham Forest and Chelsea. Not a final, but that had huge connotations for what was going on. And one of them said game. And I said, you guys are weird with this because I have learned that it's match and not game, but you throw in game every once in a while. And yeah, they throw in field instead of pitch, but God forbid I say field or game and it's, oh, you stupid American. It's like, come on, man. It's the same thing. But it's Premier. It took me a long time because I've said Premier League my whole life. No, it's Premier League. Yeah. You know what? That's why you lost the war, right? Am I right? That's why we beat you. Am I right? Premier. Nah, dude, Kevin De Bruyne. And by the way, do you know what I mean when I say this? Like, I look at Kevin De Bruyne. He doesn't scream at me all-time great Premier League midfielder. He doesn't look the part. He just looks like a dude.
Yeah, he's a guy.
Just a guy, but he's badass.
He's the guy.
He is. He's a badass dude. He really was. I have no love for Man City, but you got to admit, he's a super stud. So where's he going? Do you know?
Napoli.
What? Come on. So you're going to get a chance to see him in person? It's what, an hour away? Wine country?
Napa.
oh, I thought it was like Napa Lee, like that was the name of the team.
Napa Lee, the Lees of Napa.
Like Hercules, right? Exactly. All right. So if he's hot, who's not?
Julius Randle. And the Timberwolves lost to the Thunder yesterday. He was 1 of 7 from the field, 0 of 3 from the three-point line, only finished with 5 points.
Yikes. Yeah, he had a terrible game for him. And look, I don't want to sit here after an entire year and playoffs of Julius Randle being a stud. Like, everybody has a bad game. But the thing with him coming over from the Knicks last year was Julius was prone to disappearing. He was prone to having attitude issues in the middle of a game. And I got to wonder if some of the most hardcore Minnesota fans are thinking that that's rearing its ugly head now. I would hope not, because you can't erase, what would it be now? They're 12, 80, 94, 95 games he's played where he's been a stud pretty much. Like, they're not doing what they're doing without Julius Randle, but he does that again in game 5, and it's see you later, skater. All right. I know we're running out of time here a little bit. You want to go streaking, see how that goes?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
We're streaking!
All right, I'm behind Chris because last I saw, or no, maybe I'm not, right? I was there Friday. I did the show Friday. Okay, so I have a massive streak, and you and Jason were kind of screwing around a little bit. So let's see.
Yeah, we had no streak.
No streak, double zeros. So let's see if it got better for you.
Well, Jason, he took Mookie Betts to get his streak started.
Easy.
Friday, Mookie Betts, 0 for 4. He's still yet to get a hit.
Oh, Mookie Betts, huh? Wow.
Then there's me.
Then there's you.
I was also trying to get back in the streak mode. I picked Jackson Holiday on Thursday, and that's when I was so excited because I'm like, oh, he got a hit. And then we found out, no, he got a hit the game before this game got rained out. So then he was going up with a doubleheader, and Jackson Holiday.
Atta boy.
2 for 5. So that takes me to 1 game. Dave, you're leading everybody. You've got a 4-game hitting streak. You got Jacob Wilson, Freddie Freeman, Aaron Judge, Paul Goldschmidt, and you chose on Friday
Will Smith.
Will Smith. And Will Smith, I'm sorry to say, only went 1 for 4. He kept your streak going.
Let's go. Let's go.
So you've got a streak now at 5. I'm at 1. Jason's is at none. He's picking Aaron Judge today.
Okay. No way, really. What? Let's see. You know what? I'm not trying to talk garbage to Jason, especially when he's not here to defend himself, but I saw an interview with Mookie Betts. It was like a week ago, and he had mentioned that he actually is a lot more comfortable when he plays for me than Jason. I'm going to go Mookie Betts.
All right, and I'm going to take of the Red Sox, Jarren Duran.
Jarren Duran of the Duran Durans.
Of the Duran Durans.
Yeah, okay.
He was actually originally in that band, but it was called Duran Duran Duran.
Yeah. Had to get one out of there. What if they ever thought about calling it Duran Squared? Also, how did they come up with Duran Duran? Now I kind of want to know. It's kind of a random name. Like, hey, you know what? Let's come up with a name for it. How about The Cure? No, that's taken. What about The Who? No, done that before. All right, what about Duran? No, Duran. What about Duran Duran? Oh, let's do that. How did they come up with the name? Okay. I'm glad I looked this up. John Taylor and Nick Rhodes formed Duran Duran in 1978 in Birmingham, England, with Taylor's art school friend, Stephen Duffy, naming the band after Dr. Durand Durand, Milo O'Shea's character from the science fiction film Barbarella in 1968. The day after the film was broadcast, on BBC on October 20th, 1978. It was Durand with a D at the end. They cut that off to Duran. And I believe, didn't Duran have a hit called Barbarella, or an album, I want to say, called Barbarella? Yeah, it's a song, Electric Barbarella. How about that rabbit hole we just went down?
You can impress some of your English friends with that.
Birmingham, England. All right, we got a break. Having, I want to, from our guy, Craig in Wisconsin, who tunes in from out there, and we appreciate that. Hey, Dave, personal question. As an El Camino alum, way before me, though, I want to be clear about that. Why the hell isn't Derek Lee's name and number plastered all over El Camino's gym and or fields? My kids went to El Camino too, and it hadn't happened in the early 2000s. Maybe it's been addressed, but if not, WTF. Craig, that's an excellent question. Something maybe I will ask El Camino alumnus Lisa Gonzalez. She was an Eagle. Because, yeah, Derek Lee, who played varsity baseball as a freshman at El Camino and hit a home run in his first game there. I want to say his first at bat. One of the all-time greats. I would say easily the greatest baseball player to ever play at El Camino. Why his name isn't all over the place there, I do not know. But I will find out. You know what? Asking questions, getting answers, that's what we do. That's why the sports come first. Why don't we use that as our slogan? KHTK, where the sports come first. That doesn't sound right.
Because you usually open with something weird.
It's a great point right there. Sports and friends. We'll take a break when we come back. What was the other name rumored the Kings might be interested in? Also, something happened in baseball that had never happened before over the weekend. And we still get to, I want to mention the All-NBA teams. We got crosstalk with Alan Stiles as well, and so much more right back after this. Word from my friends at Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. So much going on there. Always deals. But guess what? It's really, as I tell you, in addition to the amazing deals, it's also about the service. Because that's what they pride themselves on. I bought 3 cars from there for a reason. And just to be clear, okay, not like I bought 3 cars there because I'm the guy that, endorses them. No, dude. I buy from there because I didn't once, they had amazing service, and I went back there again and again and again. Honest to goodness. I can't tell you how cool they are. Not just when you're there, but after you've done buying your vehicle. Whether you're in the market for a Ram truck, they're the number 3 truck dealer in the entire nation, or Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, right there in Woodland. Search, select, and save at hobletdodge.com, and you tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you. We'll take a break. Quick break. When we come back, this happened in baseball that had never happened before by a very strong person. We'll talk about that next.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back. It's my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Smoothbrook, Illinois.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Yep. Yep. I got some notes here. But before that, I just saw this as I was looking for my notes. I save off of Twitter. Interesting. Frankie Cardicelli just tweeted this out. What are your thoughts on this potential Sacramento Kings lineup? Jrue Holiday at point guard, Keon Ellis at shooting guard, Zach LaVine at small forward, Keegan Murray at power forward, Sabonis at center. That's not a perfect lineup. They're going to have some scoring issues unless LaVine is on it. Also, you have Malik Monk coming off the bench, which hopefully he'll be okay with. But that would be on the surface the best defensive team the Kings have had since the Artest era. That's a good defense. I can tell you this much. They're going to be one of the better defensive starting fives in the league. LaVine aside, Jrue Holiday is an all-defensive team type defender. I'm happy saying so is Keon Ellis. He's just not there yet.
Coach was a pretty good defender too.
Who?
Kings coach was a pretty good defender too.
You're exactly right, Doug. That'd be music to his ears. Keegan Murray is a plus defender and getting better every year. Sabonis, the numbers all support that he is a plus defender, and it's crazy because a lot of times you'll see guys like Jokic and the analytics show he's a plus defender. The eye test may not support that, but in part because Jokic was surrounded by really good defenders. Sometimes those analytics will lie because they take other people on the floor with them, even if they're not great defenders. But that's the exact opposite with Domantas Sabonis. He's not been historically surrounded by good defenders, and he still shows plus. It'd be interesting to have him share the floor with three other plus guys. Now, the question is, And first off, I'll say it again. I ultimately believe Keegan Murray is a 3. I think he's a 3. I think he's out of place at the 4. I think he's a 3. But especially when, like, look, if you're playing an oversized backcourt, maybe then you can kind of get away with it. But that's not an oversized backcourt. And Frankie asks, what kind of team is that? 9th, 10th seed play-in? Lottery bound, need to see final roster, or a potential playoff team? Well, I'll bet you everybody's going to say need to see the final roster because that's a cop-out. He shouldn't have put that. He should have just put those 3 choices. Frankie, you got to make people choose. They won't choose. But I will, you know what I'm going to say? Because I think I'm going to answer exactly how he wants. I don't think it's a great team. I don't think it's a 50-win team. I think the ceiling there is probably around 45. I think the ceiling there is probably a first-round exit. But by definition, that's a potential playoff team. And there we go. Well, look. Only 10% said need to see final roster. Look at that. Good for people making decisions. 41% say 9th or a 10th seed play-in team. 31% say potential playoff team. Lottery bound at 18%. Okay. I think that is a better team than we have right now. I think that Jrue Holiday at the 1 with the rest of that lineup is better than whatever they have now and DeMar DeRozan. That is a better team. But that, again, that's a I hate being this guy. Maybe I love being this guy because I always say that, but that is a middle of the pack, mid 40s win team, first round exit ceiling, barring a miracle. And you're picking in the high teens, maybe. And you're not really creating this young core that could compete for a championship. So I'm not a huge fan of that. Here's some of the stuff I saw. Most of this involves your San Francisco Giants. Good news. The Giants currently have baseball's best bullpen, boasting a 2.51 ERA and opponents only batting 199 with ERAs like 0.79. Camilo Doval at 1.16. I mean, these guys are just filthy. Randy Rodriguez, by the way, had the 7.9. Eric Miller, a 1.56. Tyler Rogers, a 1.85 for the Submariner. That's the good news. Here's the bad news. The offense from the first through the 6th inning, because the Giants been getting off to these terrible starts, right? Since May 9th, they rank 26th or lower. And in one case, extra base hits, they tie for last. In all of baseball, 26th or lower in runs, average, on base, slugging, OPS. Oh, my goodness. They're batting 206 between the first and 6th. They need a bat. And they thought they'd have one because you want to know if there's a culprit. Well, there's a few culprits. Lamont Wade Jr. I don't know what's going on with him. But their big free agent signing in the offseason, Willy Adames, over his last 9 games, he is 2 of 32 for a .63 batting average with 20 runners left on base, and 9 of those 32 at-bats resulted in a strikeout. Yet the Giants are still 5-4 in that span, and they're second in the West. Over the weekend, my favorite non-Giants player, O'Neal Cruz, who is now in the outfield, but was a 6'7" shortstop up until injuries kind of the Pirates decided to help him out a little bit, if you will. Try to keep him on the keep him on the field at all times. O'Neal Cruz, if you don't know who he is like an uber prospect. I mean, I say an uber prospect, which is probably incredibly misleading. He's 26 years old. He'll be 27 in October. He's 6'7", 240. Runs like an absolute gazelle. He is fleet of foot for anyone, much less 6'7". And over the weekend, he hit a ball 122.9 miles per hour. It was a line drive shot out of Pirates Park or whatever, the PNC Park, that landed in the river, breaking the record for fastest exit velocity at 122.9. Broke the record held by O'Neal Cruz, who has now the first and second fastest balls ever hit in the StatCast era. Giancarlo Stanton is the next three below that. And I found myself thinking, it kind of makes me worry about infielders and pitchers, because that ball went out of the ballpark. But imagine 123 miles an hour coming at your face, and you are 60 feet 6 inches away, and you just got done throwing. And I thought about this yesterday because part of me is like, I don't even want to bring this up because I'm superstitious. But Chris, when you think about, as we go to break here, when you think about all the weights being lifted, the advances in science, how players are today, how insane, they're stronger and faster than they've ever been. It's really amazing that we haven't really had many, if any, that I can remember recently, pitchers getting hit issues. Herb Score's the famous one that got hit right in the head, and he was never the same after that. Pitchers are so vulnerable for the most part when they get done with pitching the ball. You're supposed to be in a defensive stance, but a lot of times these guys, they're concentrating on throwing 100 miles an hour. They're not in the right spot to field 123 miles an hour. And they're closer than anyone else. They're closer to anybody at first, second, short, or third. And I find myself like, it sucks because it takes bad things happening to get things changed. But man, I don't know what the issue, I don't know what the solution is. I don't know if they should even be proactive about it, but someone's going to get hurt at some point. These guys are way.
I mean, we have.
What? No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I know, and Herb Score being the most famous, I hope we, man, $123 coming at you, dude. Anyways, we'll take a break. When we come back, the all NBA teams are announced. I still got to give you that other guy the Kings were rumored to be interested in before we get to what to watch. And then we'll get to celebrity birthdays and cross talking with Alan Stiles. Final hour of the program continues next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
It's Clean Car Month. Right now, get the Pro X1 Car Care Collection Wash Kit for just $19.99, exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
From the 916, hey, Dave, with Jrue Holiday instead of DeRozan in the starting lineup, that would be a solid lineup. We can miraculously also get a Cam Johnson or Herb Jones. Probably make some noise in the playoffs. I don't disagree with you. But I would just, how? I mean, the only way I could see the Kings getting Herb Jones without obviously giving up, the Herb Jones is going to be rather coveted by a lot of teams. New Orleans ain't just going to give him away. He's one of the best defenders in the league. He's still relatively young. Let me take a look at the contract situation just for fun. I'd love Herb Jones on this team. Love him. Let's see. Herb Jones is Herb's making $12 million this year. What's he making next year? 12 this year, 13, 14 the following year, 15 the following year. So he is incredibly cheap. I don't know how you get Herb Jones without including either Keegan Murray or maybe Devin Carter. And you're probably going to have to include at least a pick, I think. But yeah, I would love to have Herb Jones on this team. Just give me all defensive studs. Let's go. All defensive studs and like one or two guys that can score. Just want to be able to. I just want to. Let's be like a classic, not a bad boys Detroit team. I would love to see how this city would react. And I understand the Bonzi Artest teams were the closest, but even then, like. I'd love to see how this city would react to a team that had a top 10, top 5 defense. Guys diving all over the floor. Scrappy dudes you don't mess with. I mean, yeah, you're going to win a lot of games in the 90s. It's not going to be the high-flying alley-oop fest that a few want. Speaking of, by the way, well, not high-flying alley-oop, but RJ Barrett of the Toronto Raptors is another name the Kings have been linked to with interest, I should say, as far as linkings. He will be 25 June 14th. Yes, that means he is 24 right now out of Duke University, number 3 pick in the 2019 draft. 21 points, a little over 6 boards, a little over 5 assists for him. And he's shooting 44, 34, 69%. He's a 6'6", kind of a combo 2/3. He's certainly going to give you some scoring. He's certainly going to give you scoring. But it's going to cost you a little bit as well. Let me look here. RJ Barrett is going to make $28 million. I always round up, by the way, 27.7. $28 million next year, $30 million the year after, and then he is a free agent. He's young. He's a good scorer. The numbers look great. And his, what I did when I was reading about RJ Barrett is I did try to look at his defense. A lot of times young guys just don't get it yet. And the word on RJ Barrett, and the numbers do support it, is that he is becoming a better defender, that he's become an above average defender. He's certainly not a stopper. He's not a defensive playmaker. He's not going to wow you with stocks, steals, and blocks like Keon Ellis. I just don't know what that move is doing. That to me, honestly, is a younger, more expensive DeMar DeRozan with worse splits. And by the way, younger's nothing to sniff at. I get it. And they're not. He's a better defender than DeRozan. There's no doubt about that. But again, I just please also understand this isn't. Oh, you don't want RJ Barrett? What a weirdo. No, it's what's it going to cost to get RJ Barrett? Because it ain't going to be for DeMar DeRozan straight up. Toronto need to get off that. They do have a little bit of a logjam there, especially with the draft coming up as well. But they're not desperate to get off of RJ Barrett. By the way, DeMar DeRozan's 11 years older than Barrett. And honestly, dude, DeMar scores over a point a game more than him. Shoots better from the field, better from the line. They're both kind of basic from the free throw line. Value over replacement player, if you want to get nerdy, 1.2 for Barrett, 1.3 for DeRozan. So you're, like I said, they're not exactly the same. You're going to get about a rebound and actually a couple rebounds and assist more out of RJ Barrett a game. And by the way, he's 24. Like I say, he'll be 25. There's still room for him to grow. DeMar DeRozan is who DeMar DeRozan is. But he's DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan's also cheaper on a shorter contract. Again, I know it sounds sexy. A lot of times moves just to make moves, but I don't know what they're getting out of that. I don't know how that's improving. All NBA teams were announced. LeBron James extends his record. I don't care how you feel about LeBron James. You want to have an objective conversation about LeBron James, then part of that has to be his longevity. I heard my son and my wife arguing over who was better the other day, LeBron James or Michael Jordan, like everybody does on Twitter. And look, regardless of where the argument is, and I think we all know where that is, my wife absolutely refused to acknowledge the longevity factor. It was, well, yeah, LeBron has all of that because he played XYZ more years than LeBron. And that's the one place where I think the argument falls apart. Look, I think Michael Jordan's better than LeBron James. Blah, blah, blah. Dumb argument. But you can't take away LeBron James's longevity and relative health. Why would you do that? Why health and longevity aren't scored like a stat in the same way that points and rebounds and assists are, I don't understand that. So you'd rather look, would you rather have 6 years of a slightly better player, or I'm just using regular terms, or 12 years of a guy that's not like the other guy at his peak, but you're getting 12, you're getting double the time. Of course you got to factor in the longevity factor. But I didn't have a problem with the All-NBA team like we talked about earlier. I didn't have a problem with that at all. 4 of them unanimous, and then Donovan Mitchell was the 5th. He deserved it. Also, thank goodness, Tyrese Halliburton's dad has now been allowed back to Pacers home games. I actually agree with this. He'll be allowed to attend Pacers home games in a suite. He hasn't attended a game since he got in front of Giannis. Look, he was holding a towel in front of Giannis and talking garbage. It was a bad look. He didn't touch him. He didn't assault him. He didn't start a fight. And yes, I understand a lot of that's due to Giannis having restraint. It could have been a bad situation. It wasn't. He's an overzealous dad who got caught up in the moment and did something incredibly dumb. Everybody's made up. Giannis said he talked with him and they're in a good place. He apologized. And now, he spent his whole life driving Tyrese Halliburton to his games with his mom. I think it actually went too far. Like, dude, let the guy watch from a suite. Hell, just don't let him courtside, whatever. But also, he's not a rabid dog who's going to do it. Can I tell you right now, on an NBA court, of all the people courtside that I am now worried about jumping up and getting into a player's face, John Halliburton might be the least likely person in the world to do that. Just saying, man.
Did you happen to see the video when he was told he can go to the games?
No, I didn't. Do we have audio?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
So here it is.
Uh-huh.
Yay! Yay! Yay!
Excuse me. Oh, I breathed that water in too much. Yay. I think Adam Silver probably suspended him an extra couple games just because of that stupid ass explanation he tried to offer in that interview. After everything seemed to be going okay. It seemed to be wrapping up. And then I was looking past him. And I was holding up this towel and I was just really proud of our guys. I wasn't even looking at Giannis, and I was just looking at the crowd going, yay, yay. Like, that might be actually the dumbest. That actually, in retrospect, might be worse than him actually walking on the court.
Him going on the news to explain himself was, man, you just say no.
Yeah, dude. Bad decision, John. We'll take a break. When we come back, almost done here. A's, Astros, what to watch, and so much more. And we'll clean up some of the stuff we didn't get to during the show before we get to crosstalk and celebrity birthdays. We're right back after this.
Yay! Yay! Yay!
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at folsomlakehonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Bring the whole family to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. It's more than a game. It's an experience your kids will never forget. Enjoy exciting action on the field, delicious ballpark food, and fun activities for all ages. From meeting Dinger the mascot to running the bases every Sunday, there's something for everyone. Create lasting memories with your family this season. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
MC is not a fan of LeBron James, safe to say. He says he ushered in the flopping and load management era. I don't know. Look, LeBron has played, I'm pretty sure. Well, Steph Curry's probably played the most games, but I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think LeBron's probably played the most games of anyone. You know what? This would be an interesting stat to look up. It would take some time, probably. I think LeBron James has probably played the most games of anyone over the last 20 years, even if you separated them into separate decades. For example, from 2015 to 2025, he's probably played the most games. If not him, Steph. And then probably from 05 to 15, same thing. And I'm including playoffs, obviously. That doesn't mean that LeBron never load managed, but not a lot. Really not a lot.
I believe that started happening with Popovich. And remember that big thing of Tim Duncan out old?
Yes. And then Kawhi Leonard was the king of load management. James Harden. Did James Harden? Am I just assuming James Harden did? Maybe he didn't.
James Harden would just go away for a bit.
I mean, James Harden to me is the poster child for flopping. By the way, I'm not saying LeBron, there's documentation of LeBron flopping. But James Harden, in his first 7-8 years, he was a guaranteed 70-75 games a year. He played 82 in 2015, and he played 82 in 2010. He played 79 last year, 72 the year before, but woof, talk about that. What a stretch here. 58, 21, 44, 36, 8, 68. Over a 6-year span, he probably averaged 40 games a year. I don't know. Look, there's a lot of, if you want to talk about ushering in the flopping era, I mean, Vlade Divac's on line one. Vlade really kind of brought the flop. He is kind of the flop father. The God flopper? Which is better, Chris? The flop father or the God flopper?
I like God flopper.
I was just going to say, I think God flopper. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it's Vlade. It's Vlade. For the 916, Dave, you tell your wife she won that argument about the GOAT, Michael Jordan, 646. Or he said 646 using all numbers, and I read it as 646. What an idiot. Michael Jordan was 6 for 6. LeBron 4 for 10. Yeah, look, I think Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. Well, yeah. Well, I think Michael Jordan is one of the two greatest players of all time, and I constantly go back and forth, but the other one ain't LeBron. But I don't like the 6 for 6 versus 4 for 10. Because it sounds like I'm trying to take, God, this is such a stupid argument. Why do I fall for it twice a year? Look, Michael Jordan's probably the greatest player to ever play. If not, he's top 2. But I'm perfectly willing to acknowledge he is. I have no interest in disrespecting or trying to take away from Michael Jordan. He also played with 2 Hall of Famers pretty much for every championship. and Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen, who was also a top 50 all-time player in their prime. And his point guards were exactly what they needed to be, whether it was, John Paxson or BJ Armstrong or whomever. Whether you had, and people underrate Horace Grant, what he meant to that team. And then as they went through Luke Longley, Bill Wennington, Tony Kukoc, not that LeBron hasn't had good teammates as well, but also you got to look at look at that Cavs team he brought to the finals. It was like him, Kyrie, and nothing. Like, go look at that roster. How did that roster win a championship? I've never seen anyone dominate in the playoffs more than LeBron did in that Warriors series. He was just unstoppable. He was a freight train. You couldn't stop him. And then the whole 4 for 10. Okay, 2 less championships. Absolutely. I got you.
Well, his first one when he was still young, his first time with the Cavs going up against the Spurs, like they had no business playing against the Spurs, and it was all in LeBron's bag.
Didn't he make the finals? Was it 9 straight years? Was it? I think 9 straight. Like, that's stupid. And look, I think you could slightly, I don't think you would change the argument, Chris, because you shouldn't change the argument. I have no problem saying Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time. I don't. Michael Jordan played 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, Michael Jordan played 15 years. He won 6 championships. I understand 1 year he had a broken foot. I understand the other year he came back towards the end of the season from his I get it. But what about all the years he didn't win a championship? What about all the years he was 6-0 in the finals? So 15 years, he's 6-0 in the finals. So why don't we ever talk about the 9 years he didn't even make the finals? Jordan made the finals 6 times and he won 6 times. That's insane. LeBron made it 9 straight years consecutively, and he won 4. But why don't is it ring or nothing? So you don't get any credit for not getting swept in the first round or knocked out in the conference semis. You don't get any credit for that the fact that LeBron made it to the finals. In many cases, as you just mentioned, Chris, dragging teams that had no business being anywhere near the finals. How many would Michael Jordan have won if he never took time off? I don't know. How would my aunt have looked had she had a mohawk and a nose ring? Like, these things didn't happen. Points, rebounds, assists, defense. They're both studs. But Michael Jordan is 6-0 in the finals. Cool. But Michael Jordan's also 6-9 in years winning a championship. You get what I'm saying? 9 times he played seasons, he didn't make the finals. Didn't make it. I still think Michael Jordan's the best. But I just find it weird that we just if you didn't make the final, if you didn't win the finals, well then you might as well. If you didn't win the finals, you might as well have been a lottery team that year. For all that matters in that argument. That being said, Michael Jordan's the greatest player of all time, but Michael Jordan does not have. I like to remind people every once in a while. Michael Jordan may be the greatest player of all time. Michael Jordan does not have the greatest resume of all time. There's no argument here. I will accept no arguments against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's resume. 6-time NBA champion. So right there, 6 times. 2-time finals MVP, 6-time MVP overall, 19-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA first team, 5-time All-NBA second team, 5-time All-NBA defensive first team, 6-time defensive second team, Rookie of the Year, scoring champion twice, 4 times he was the blocks leader. Oh, by the way, he won 3 titles on the greatest college basketball teams ever. And the only reason he didn't win 4 is because freshmen couldn't play. That's it. The only reason why. Oh, and he probably would have had at least another title or 2 had he been able to come out after his freshman or sophomore year. He played until he was a senior. He played until he was a senior. And he played 21 years. And of those 20 or 21, he was an all-star 19 times. Like, what are we doing here, guys? Greatest resume of all time. And I hate the Lakers. Kareem's got the greatest resume ever, and Michael Jordan cannot match that. Sorry. Also, I will not accept this argument. People kill for Jordan sneakers. People don't kill for LeBron shoes. What? So what? Okay, you lost me. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap it up with Alan Stiles, celebrity birthdays, and whatever else is going on. I haven't talked to Alan in a while. We'll get to that next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads, great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage, weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans, also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke. Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So we had a huge new business pitch.
Attention, all hands on deck.
When, boom, our only printer was fried.
Up in smoke, like your chances of landing that account.
Well, I just sent the file to Staples. Devin, the print associate, was on it. She had it printed and bound same day.
So where's the drama?
There wasn't any. Staples made it super easy.
Inconceivable. For the product, services, and experts you need, Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
With so many ways to warm up before golf, a group of university researchers tried to cut through the clutter. 24 low handicap players were split into groups. The first group was instructed to hit 9 shots in a row with 4 different clubs at set targets. The second group also hit 36 shots, but in a random order. Maybe 1 shot with a driver, 1 with a 7-iron, another with a wedge, and so on. Then all the golfers from both groups hit 9 test shots that simulated the kind of shots they'd hit on the course. Results found that the group who practiced with randomized shots performed better than the first group. Well, that's one study, but it's probably important to note that rather than hit a bunch of shots with 3 clubs, you might be better off hitting different clubs to different distances. You'll have practice shots to different targets with different clubs, presumably just like you'll do on the golf course. Give it a try. What do you have to lose except a few shots on your scorecard? That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Hey, it's Alan Stiles. How you doing, Alan?
I'm good, Dave. I'm trying to get you. On the YouTuber.
We were having fun. We were enjoying to open the show, or maybe it was our first break. Now I forget who the spot was for, but you were very I was laughing, not in a and Chris will back me up, and you know Chris will never back me up if he has a chance to throw me under the bus. It wasn't in a disrespectful way. It's a great spot. It's just I'm used to you conversationally, and that was very announcy. It was very, you know how like we're talking right now, but if you were to be like, and then they scored the final run and the ball game was over. I'm Alan Stiles, ESPN.
What? I don't know which one that was.
It's your injury report.
Yeah. It was very reportery. And I was
Dave, you got to wear a lot of hats. A lot of hats, Dave.
Yeah, didn't you have some appearance or something over the weekend? I try to follow your tweets because
we were at Fastener's Tool Outlet with Essential Foods. Yes, and a lot of meat was bought. So shout out to Essential Foods. And I went to the county fair this weekend.
We have the meats.
And I went to the county fair this weekend. That was a lot of fun.
You're the only one here that goes to the county fair.
You got to go to county, then you go to state.
I'll be honest. I don't think I knew we had a county fair. We have a county fair?
Honestly,
yeah, it's at Cal Expo.
You go and they're basically setting up the state fair while the county fair is going on.
So I'm sure that we're going to be doing a lot of fair promoting and all that coming up. But I think I'm far. What does anyone know when the state fair is? It's like August or September now, right?
Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up.
It's coming up, but in months, right? Like it's not coming up anytime soon. I need to make sure I have a line of demarcation here between when we're like, hey, win a pair of tickets and what I'm about to say.
It says July 11th through July 27th.
Less than 2 months. All right. I'll temper it. I am not a fair person.
Wow.
I know that.
How do you know that?
Because you just go off your own ideas. You don't think of any other people's ideas.
Fair person. I knew that. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't get it. My wife and kids go to the fair. Well, I think it's more like my wife and daughter drag my son to the fair every year.
Good.
And they pet the goats and they eat the corn dogs.
The pig race. We had the pig race yesterday.
And I'm a guy that I enjoy a good PBR bull riding. I would watch a rodeo. I think those are neat. I'm not indifferent to the hokey dokey okey stuff, but man, last time I went to a fair was probably 15 years ago. It was a California State Fair, and it's just like you're walking around. There's lines.
It's great.
It's 105 degrees.
Well, and that's the good thing about the county fair. It just happened this weekend, so it's over now. But you go before it gets real hot.
Can I ask, why don't we have the state fair now?
That's a great question. Because of the county fair.
Yeah, the county fairs have to get through.
Did the state fair?
You have to make it to state fair.
State fair greater than Zion County Fair. So put the county fair a month ago. Why do we have to have the state fair in the middle of a fireball?
Yeah.
You know,
it is rough.
Are there still, since it's a Cal Expo, does anyone know, are there state fair and like, I don't know, it's not called Waterworld anymore, but whatever the hell the slides are, like, is there a combo ticket where you could just like slide down and get cool and then go to the fair?
Probably. You like the fair.
What?
You like the fair.
I detest the. I am not a fair. I'm not a guy. No, Alan. There's nothing about the fair that's enjoyable to me.
Everything is enjoyable.
What if Ludacris was at the fair?
That's what I'm saying. We're going to see Luda. You get train. You get on. We were on a train yesterday. We saw sharks. There was camel riding.
I would say, although I enjoy Ludacris, and I do, I don't know that I would make a point to go see him at the fair.
What about Air Supply?
Oh, absolutely. Now you're talking. You know what sucks? Boys to Men's played the state fair a couple times, and I love Boys to Men.
That shows you how much he doesn't like the fair.
Yeah, because I haven't gone. I should go see. I haven't gone.
But what if Cypress Hill was there?
Nope. Boys to Men, maybe. Air Supply, definitely.
What about In Vogue?
Ooh. Why are you laughing? Why is that funny? I love In Vogue.
You're not going.
No, I'm not going. Are they all playing?
Yeah.
Oh. If they were playing the same night, maybe. I'm just saying, dude. And I don't want. You know what?
What?
I can't. I will tell you. I cannot offer my full unabridged opinion for reasons. I'll tell you off the air why.
You won't.
Yes, I will. I don't want to. I'm pretty sure they're going to be advertising with us soon, or at least they were. I'm just not a fair guy.
Yeah, I am.
Nothing wrong with that.
I had a funnel cake yesterday. I had a deep fried Snickers yesterday.
Snickers, overrated?
Yes.
No.
I feel like they kind of are, Alan.
They're too much.
Nobody rates them. They're not rated.
Now I've got a problem because we're like, why is the state fair early? And we were saying because of all the county fairs. The Nevada City County Fair is August 6th through the 10th. So we're having the state fair here before the Nevada County Fair.
I'll bet you, I don't know this. I will bet you there's some sort of reason that goes back to why fairs originally happened that has to do with birthing cows and what stage the animals are at in their development. I'll bet you there's a reason it's late summer that has to do with livestock.
It's these contests. You have to have the county fair before the state fair with the contests.
No, I'm just showing you right now. The Nevada County Fair takes place after the state fair.
Nevada.
Oh, they do things backwards in Nevada.
California.
That doesn't make any sense.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, if I had the best calf.
Yeah.
How do you win state then county? It's backwards.
I mean, Alan, you're both bringing up really good points because Chris has documentation.
We've got to go to celebrity birthdays.
All right, celebrity birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. You can go to the state fair, but you know what else you can do? You can stay home with no lines and have yourself a 6-pack of Crumble Cookies. Oh my God, you want to go out and suffer in 105-degree heat? Nope, I'm going to stay home with my Crumble Cookie and milk. Back to you, Chris Roulade.
On this day, in what year did Dave's favorite movie come out? Top Gun Maverick.
Ugh. Oh, God, was it before or after COVID? I feel like it was before. Has to be. This would be one of those things where it's older than I think. I'll say 2018.
I don't think so. I think it was 2022.
Well, we've got a surprising right answer.
Oh, God.
Alan Styles. Of course it was 2022.
Was it only 3 years ago?
Yes, it was like one of the big movies after COVID.
Wow. Okay.
In what year did the movie The Flintstones movie come out?
Oh,
Alan's got this.
Yeah, go ahead, Alan.
John Goodman.
Yeah. Am I really going first?
Yes.
Yeah.
96.
I seriously was going to say, I was going to say 96, and I'm going to stick with 96.
You guys are both way off. How did you not know it was 1994 when the Flintstones movie came out? Okay. How old today is Jamie Oliver?
What? I just watched last night. They have a brand new thing of a Chef's Table on Netflix, which I love. And one of their 4 episodes is on Jamie Oliver. That's not going to help me, though. Mid-90s, and he was, I think, 22. 30. I'll say he's 50.
52.
We have a correct answer. Carmichael Dave, the Jamie Oliver stan, he gets it. All right, one last one. Andre 3000, happy birthday.
All right.
Loved his instrumental
Quickly.
album. 52.
Really?
Yeah. Quickly.
50.
Alan Stiles is correct. Jamie Oliver and Andre 3000 are both 50 today.
Wow.
Chris, great job today. Thank you for a vacationing Jason Ross, for Lisa Gonzalez, for Kelly Brothers, and all of you. Thank you so much. Alan, I can't cut you off, so 5 seconds. What's coming up?
We stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit Sacktown Sports